I beat him.
You're now live with Green Light.
That's honestly, that sounds like some stuck in traffic shit. It sounds like some shit that I used to hear on the radio when I was a wee lad in Southern California, and we were stuck in traffic, and that's what happened to me today. Evidently, the entire city of Charlottesville was in a single car accident, and the roads were shut down and everything. So I'm sorry we're late. I ordered
okay.
Traffic.
Traffic. Looking for my chapstick.
STL Memorial. I'm eating a peanut butter toasty right now. I'm sorry. I got to get a peanut because my DoorDash never came because I ordered it at like 12:15, and the woman is still stuck in traffic. She's like, I'm looking at her car. It hasn't moved in an hour and a half.
Worst seat.
My avocado toast is browning. And I was like, hey, you can just take it to the office. She was like, I can't go anywhere right now.
Yeah.
She's just like stuck with my smoothie. She's probably drinking it. I don't blame you. Probably tuned into the live stream. Shout out to whatever her name is. Damn, she's still there. Like, where are you going?
Damn, son.
Shout out to Darcia. All right, so here we are. Welcome back to another Green Light Monday Live. We've got Dr. Fax here.
Yep.
We've got Nolan here. We've
What
got
up?
Cowboy Reed. We got
Yo.
Bo Allen on the big screen here.
It's
Tanner behind the machines. Who do you think's the most hungover person on the whole team today? Yeah, what time did your night end last night?
I got the Honolulu flu today, brother.
Yeah.
I fell asleep watching an absolute electric Packers-Cowboys game that somehow ended up in the most boring way imaginable. So my night ended at about midnight last night.
So your night ended like 20 minutes before the game ended. Like, so you woke up this morning and found out it was a tie, like a kid.
No, I woke up. Aiden and Ralph stayed over. We were all watching the game on the couch. Fell asleep. Woke up at like right as the game ended. It was just me down there. They had gone up to bed. I was so confused. I was
You're
like,
like,
where
what
am
the
I?
fuck
How's this game tied? What is happening? You know, like the meme with Robin Williams from Jumanji.
Yeah.
Where he's like, what year is it?
Mhm.
That's kind of how I felt.
Yeah, a little Rip Van Winkle situation for
Exactly.
and you were at the Bucs Eagles, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. But like, we should probably start with Sunday Night Football.
Ho, ho, ho. What a game.
Dude, what a game! And honestly, like,
But a tie.
did I feel dumb at 12:20 in the morning? Sort of. Like I felt kind of stupid because like nobody won. But I've been in those situations with a helmet and shoulder pads on.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's nothing compared to how stupid you feel when you played the football game.
Like, so.
And like there's nothing you can do you can't be mad.
I was
You
just
can't
about to
be
say,
happy.
So how do you feel in the locker room, and or are you judging the way your teammates are reacting to a tie? If you're not cool with a tie, if someone's in the locker room like, yeah, like I played great, I feel great,
Yeah.
like we didn't lose, so it's all good. Whereas some people might be like, man, fuck that tie.
I think most people, like, we tied the Niners and like flew back, and it was a weird flight. It was a weird flight. I was so shook by the tie that I got kind of blackout drunk, and that was the game that I stumbled getting onto the bus off the airplane, and like fell up the stairs, and I looked up, and Jeff Fisher was sitting right there, and he was like, you played a great game today, Chris.
That's a great.
It was legit, and it was one of my best games. And like we fucking tied, like it was terrible. And I was last night. Macon texted me at like 12:21 a.m. and he goes, to his credit, he was like George Pickens does not know the rules to overtime, or I'll eat my hat. And then like 30 minutes later, he sends me a tweet that it's like a post-game interview with George Pickens. He's like, I didn't know the NFL worked like that.
That is, look, my fly
But
on
hand
the
up.
wall. My fly on the wall
Yeah.
would be if I could be in George Pickens' brain, him trying to wrap his head around how they lost that game, because he definitely thought that that game was over and that he had the game-winning touchdown. And just,
I wonder, did he think that,
he thought he won that game.
Yeah.
He thought he won that game.
Yeah, well, I mean, it ends up being a thriller at the end of the thing, and I don't know. You could probably talk about this from the perspective. First off, I don't know. When I break down a game now, I'm trying to be very cognizant of the Detroit Lions rule. Lions fans, you guys are definitely making your mark on the show. I'm trying to talk about the winning team first, and then the losing team second, right? Because sometimes you come out of a game and you come out of the Kansas City game yesterday, and you're like, I want to talk about how bad the fucking Ravens are too. You come out of that game last night, I'm like, who gets to go first? I guess we'll talk about it from the perspective of the favorite. First, the Packers twice in a row now have kind of tricked it off, and I know that the Cowboys did a lot to earn that tie. And Dak Prescott he's sensational, criminally, overrated and underrated at the same time. Because Cowboys fans are everywhere and they think he's Joe Montana. But I think the rest of the country, because he quarterbacks for the Cowboys, they hate him, and he's a stud. He's always been a stud, and now he's leading this Cowboys team that looks a lot like we talked about it, the Bengals team last year. They're going to have to win some games,
who they are,
43-40 or whatever, if they can win them. But the Packers have blown it the last 2 weeks. Last week, you talk about 3rd and 3, Jordan Love throwing that pick. You got to make the Cleveland Browns drive and tie the football game at that point, or beat you. They don't do that. They turn the ball over. The Matthew Golden thing where he runs out of bounds, these are the little things that are the difference between winning and losing. And obviously getting a kick block last night that goes the other way for 2, giving up a long return late in the game. Special teams was terrible. The clock management was awful at the end of that football game. And so, when I talk about LaFleur being one of the best coaches in the league, that's not what that's not the Matt LaFleur I know. And maybe there's a pattern with the way this football team plays where it's they're not going to realize their talent because they make mistakes like this. I think offensively they're great. The scheme's always been on point. They always come out of the gate with a great script. They're one of the best first half teams in the NFL offensively. They're balanced, the whole thing. The Malik Willis thing last year, but the clock management at the end of that game was truly mind blowing. I mean, Chris Collinsworth, the ball's in the air, and he's like, "You're going to lose the game." The ball's in the air, and Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth, they cannot believe it. Or Tirico. and Chris Collinsworth, they're like, they cannot believe he threw that football.
Got a lucky bounce.
They did. That's
Literally.
what they said.
No, absolutely.
The fact that it bounced down instead of up.
It hit
Incredibly.
that dude's back and went straight
Hit him right in the
down.
back of the head. It might not hit the ground if it didn't hit the player. Yeah.
If it doesn't hit the ground, maybe the clock runs out. If it bounces up in the air versus
if it hits the back of his shoe and bounces in the air,
anything.
They're a 2-2 football team. Now, from the other side of it, you could say hey, last week they got a kick blocked. This week they get a kick blocked. But these are the details, man. Teams are losing on fucking kicks, man.
See, that's what I was talking about last week. America's team with the special team coaches. It's one of those weeks now. You can't go 2 weeks getting kicks blocked. That's how people lose jobs. That's how stuff gets that's how the water gets real muddy. Because
that's what killed the Bucs yesterday. That pump block
destroyed the Bucs.
Special teams has been. We'll get there, but that's been a huge
atrocious
for them. So
yeah.
You gotta lock in on those plays.
And that's Rich Bisaccia, everybody's favorite special teams coach. But and Golden. I think Golden's going to be a really valuable piece for them. Mm-hmm. But he's got to. I mean, who catches a kick and goes immediately hits circle on the PS5 controller,
dude,
and then just gets decapitated. He's got the ball. He runs backwards on offense. You don't see that shit. Dudes don't do that.
The answer is me. I would do that.
I know, but And
it's like Chris, when you're trying to take an inside spin move and you're doing it into the slide. The tackle oversets you, and then the guard just come and takes your head off. That's like what happened, but the dude had a 30-yard.
It's as if the guard was running from Cleveland, dude. Like that was.
You remember seeing that clip of Quentin Nelson and one of the who's the edge rush for the Chargers? Melvin Ingram, I think.
Ingram.
He murders him.
Oh yeah,
that exact same thing.
But
that was a wild hit.
But that's
probably the biggest hit of the year so far.
But what I did respect is that he held on to that rock. That's the play that, like, realistically,
I thought he was going to lose the ball.
Bro, 9 times out of 10, that ball like would be airborne, and or the shock of that hit. The way he got hit, like it would just come loose before he hit the ground. And the fact that he actually held onto the ball, he popped right up. I was kind of impressed.
Can we? And I didn't even get to this. The end of the fucking first half. I'm all for being aggressive, and I hate wasting opportunities to go steal a field goal. And they've been good in those situations, but there has to be an internal clock for Jordan Love in that situation. That is the one thing where Dallas has a 2-for-1. They kind of gave him a 3-for-1 opportunity. That was crazy. So in so many ways, and I don't know if this is the quarterback needs to tighten it down a little bit, or the quarterback and the coach, who seem to have a great relationship, need to get on the same page, but multiple situations where, okay, we're going to put you out there, but we have to understand. And I didn't love their use. I mean, not just playing Russian roulette with the clock late, but like how it led to that moment. Like they hurried up, and I think threw or was it a timeout? They threw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, and I think Golden got smacked for like a 4-yard loss.
It was a screen, yep.
I just was not crazy about the way they went about that end of game situation. We got to talk about Michael Parsons. Because like last night was crazy. You basically had Jerry Jones like live streaming the warm up. Like I walked in the house to see my kids before the kick, because that's usually what I do. I emerge from our cave and I go to see my family before the 8:20 starts. And Jerry's on TV. I'm like, what the fuck? And my son's like, who is that old man? And I'm like, he owns one of the football teams. He's like, the guys that own the football teams don't usually do interviews, do they? I'm like, he does them all the time. And he's narrating Micah Parsons coming in the stadium. You could just tell, like, the first possession, I think they went run away, they bin blocked him, and then they tossed away on 3rd and 5. I was like, okay, I know no matter what happens in this game, they are not going to let Micah Parsons affect it. But try as they did, and I know there's people, especially Cowboys fans, probably coming away from this game this morning saying, and there is some truth to it, look, you just went toe-to-toe with that team without your number one wide receiver.
Yep.
You shipped your best pass rusher away, and you 40-40 tie with a team that I think is a contender. But don't tell me Micah Parsons doesn't have an effect on that game. Like, he is the entire game plan. The guy had 10 pressures and basically saved the game in the red zone on, a sack, which he earned through the other 10 pressures. And people are saying, hey, we handled Micah Parsons, which to me speaks to what a dominant player he is. Yeah, we took care of him. He only had 10 pressures.
Yeah.
And we fucking threw a sea of bodies at him every play. Now, they did single him up on the shot in overtime, which I thought was impressive. But eventually in a game like that, when you are getting slide, when you're getting chipped and you're getting double-teamed, I never had to deal with as much attention as he did. But in the moments where I had to deal with attention, sometimes when they mix in a single block, you're like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. And you're almost like you're fooled. So I just want to credit Shoddy, the run game, the protection. I think Shoddy's done a great job. I mean, it's the one thing he said this summer was like, hey, everywhere I've been, we run the football. They ran the ball up the Packers' ass, and the corners looked like the preseason version of how we evaluated them, which is solid, not great. And so I think just is it something you got to worry about with the Packers? Certainly, at some point you're going to worry about the corners. But I think the Cowboys did a great job of running the football, keeping that front at bay. The Wyatt injury is a big deal.
Yep.
I don't know what's going on there. Is it just a contusion? Didn't hear anything about that. He left the game. But I want to shout out Tyler Smith. He fucking saved the ball game. Does anybody else remember this? Maybe before you fell asleep, Bo. But
I was out cold by this point.
Micah Parsons, I think maybe it was I lost track of the possessions at the end of the football game, but the Cowboys under 2 minutes driving, trying to score, and 3rd and 2, I think it was, Micah beats the left tackle clean, and he's about to take the ball off Dak Prescott, and Tyler Smith, he basically whips his head around and beelines for Micah and just gets enough of him where Micah doesn't bring the house
like
down.
A goalie making a save.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was like Bobrovsky.
Because Micah was just gonna have to tap. He was just gonna have to tap Dax's arm. The ball to be free.
And the whole story this morning is completely different. This morning we're saying like, oh, Jerry, it blew up in his face.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The Packers are incredible. This is what they brought him in for.
It's
just one little play changes the whole thing.
That's what I was going to say. That's what's funny about this tie. Like, for both teams, narrative-wise, like, this is probably the best possible situation that could happen. But the real losers are, like, us as a fans, because we know whatever way this game would have went for winners or losers, there's just so much magnitude of narratives on either side. If Dallas would have won and Jerry could have been like, yeah, we don't need Micah. You see, we won. And then if Green Bay would have won and Micah would have played well, it would have been everyone on Jerry. Like, you see what we did, Jerry? See what you did, Jerry? You gave him away. And, like, and now, because it's a tie, it's kind of like...
Is it a metaphor for the trade, Nate?
Maybe.
Because
it's a wash.
Because usually a lot of these trades, like, at the end of the day, like...
You feel like they're
unbalanced. You can litigate them, but eventually, if neither team wins a damn Super Bowl or whatever it is that they're after, like, nobody wins.
Exactly. Or it must have been an equal trade.
Packers win the trade. For a while there, Kenny Clark made a couple plays last night, and maybe the worst seat is Kenny Clark because... And I got so much respect for him, and he played his ass off last night. But, like, you're kind of the throw-in on a trade like that, and now your old team's coming to town, and they look really good, and you're not enjoying that success they have. That's just a tough deal, man. But I got a lot of respect for him. The Packers' offensive line could be a problem. Mm-hmm. Offensive line issue, watch. We're putting them on offensive line issue watch. Savion Williams, just wanted to mention his name. He's the other guy with Romeo Dobbs with a hat trick, by the way. My boy Big Romeo. Savion Williams, the other guy with the fucking the packing peanuts around his helmet.
Uh-huh.
And he plays like he's a little guy, like he runs around like he's a little guy, but he's like 6'4", 225, dude. Like, I'm really interested to see how they use him as the year goes on. Total stud.
They let him throw the ball. I mean,
former quarterback.
He can do whatever he wants out there.
So
I'll ask you this, since you've played in a tie and you've probably got media questions.
I don't have a sister.
I was just gonna say, you don't. I was just gonna say, where the hell did that saying come from? A tie is like kissing your sister, and like, what the hell does that mean?
I've never known what it means.
Like, what does it mean?
I never heard
that. Mean like ties are better in Alabama?
Oh my god!
Hopefully,
I'm not really sure what the fuck he was talking. I don't know what he was talking about there. Did you hear his quote when they asked him? I don't even want to say what he said. It's just too awkward.
About how it tastes, right?
It's so awkward. It's so awkward. It's so awkward.
Like, you whites,
he's
man.
a certified meat looker.
Why's it got to be us whites?
Because sunshine and glory holes. And how does it taste?
Someone asked him.
It's Jerry Jones.
What's the quote?
Don't you whites us off Jerry Jones? He's
the quote is
white, dude.
How does it taste?
Yeah, come on, that's out of control, dude. I don't even know what he's talking about.
Oh man, Jerry Jones.
Anyways, tie ball game. Let's do Sunday, huh? Sunday day. Oh, I got. Hold on a second. Hold on a minute, player.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you too.
Oh yeah,
I hit a plus 40,000 bet. Odd bet.
Do the math for people. Okay, so what? So would you put like 25 cents on it or something? And then...
I put $2.50 to win $1,000.
That's insane,
and
dude.
That bitch hit. It hit. Romeo Dobbs touchdown. Dak Prescott anytime touchdown. And then I had Jameson Williams for. Javonte Williams to record 100 rushing and receiving, and Josh Jacobs to record 150.
Dude, fuck me, dude. Matthew Golden.
Yep.
He also took away Wixie's first touchdown.
Oh,
I had that.
was a touchdown.
I went heavy. That's a tud.
That was a
Golden.
tud.
You took that away from me. I'll send you a Venmo. And then I also had Tucker Kraft, Robert Kraft first touchdown. That's not gonna cash.
What are the odds of the Robert Kraft first touchdown? Probably pretty good.
The Kraft.
Yeah, the Kraft thing down at the fucking goal line. So,
which was funny because he caught the ball and you were like, "Don't get in, don't get in."
Oh my God, I've got him. I've got another first touchdown. Also, I think Brandon Aubrey kicking the ball because I got him on my fantasy team.
Ooh.
I think that in fantasy, if the kicker does one of those kicks, you should get points.
You're just trying to make up new stuff now. You're just making new shit up.
I think there's something to that, bro. How many things?
I do.
You know, see, you like that.
Yo, the best
new shit.
The best Madden mini game of all time is corner coffin, like having to control.
Oh hell yeah, yeah.
But
BetMGM, where'd you find that one?
More kickers need to get with Aubrey and learn how to do that.
Welcome to the Green Light Podcast presented by BetMGM. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code GREENLIGHT and you will get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Just download the BetMGM app and sign up using bonus code GREENLIGHT. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game. If that bet loses, you will receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets when using bonus code GREENLIGHT at sign up. Then get access to second chance promos, odds boost tokens, same game parlays, BetMGM original bets, and so much more. BetMGM, make it legendary.
And real fast, before we go to the next game, we're going to do a new segment called Hey, Reshare That. This needs everybody's participation, everybody in the chat, everybody in the room. Open your phone, go to the Greenlight X page or IG and reshare our show tweet. So you've got a text to reshare?
Yeah, sure.
Nate, you've got something to reshare?
Oh, shit, I got to reshare something?
Everybody reshare. Everybody in the chat, just pop on over, reshare IG. Make sure, send it to a friend. Make sure you bring a friend into the chat.
Send it to your kin.
I love that read.
Send it to your kin.
Kinfolk.
Now, here's the deal, man. I hope for y'all's sake, not all of you are on X, and you're like, well, fuck, what do I do? But definitely do that if you are. I booked. Speaking of BetMGM, bookended my day with not so great plays Sunday night. I still think somehow I have such confirmation bias. I think the Packers was the right side. And unfortunately the game in Dublin I was on the wrong side of. I did not see this one going the way it did. I knew I was fucked when Rodgers hit a smelling salt and then just ripped a dart for like 80 to Metcalf. I was like, golly.
Oh, Broderick Jones hands it to him.
Yeah, he hands him
a
smelling salt. He's like, wham! Right. Pace like a mad dog in a meat house into running into the flat, and DK just goes the distance. Anyways, I thought this was a really good day for the Steelers. Especially on a day where, and they didn't know this at this point, that the Ravens would drop to 1-3 on the season, and with the Cats tonight in a showdown with the Broncos, the Cats and the Horses. You got to figure if you're the Steelers, you might have a good shot at this thing. That's the way you're thinking this morning.
Absolutely.
That's the way you're thinking on the plane ride home from sitting in coach on the plane ride home from Ireland, bro. That was maybe best and worst plane ride.
I literally have on here that the Steelers are my best and worst plane ride.
There you go.
And then specifically, your man Jalen Ramsey. Imagine having a 7-hour flight with a with a newly hurt
and dudes walking by being like, "Are you faking it?"
Exactly. And then to do a fake hurt hamstring celebration for a touchdown.
I knew you'd have something on that.
That ends up getting taken away and called back, so it's not even a touchdown. And you did that celebration only to get hurt.
Yeah, that was crazy.
To hurt
I saw somebody
tweet
tweet that like instant karma. I'm like, is that how karma works? Did
did
that hurt anybody? It didn't hurt anybody.
It's not karma, but it's one of those things that like
it's just a bad coincidence.
You don't want to joke about being hurt because
it's
like
manifestation.
Yeah, it's like not parking in a handicap spot. It's like
I don't think it is.
It is because it's like you could
parking in the handicap spot. You're objectively a bad person.
No, absolutely, but also
I think the
too,
fake
like
hammy thing's funny.
Well, it's just like also in real life, like you could be handicapped and have to use that spot, like so you shouldn't take it. So it's just like hey,
yeah, but that's where that's where it doesn't
but it's
hold
just
up.
Like why fake an injury just for a celebration, laugh, or kicks and giggles?
Well, I think what you're saying, don't tempt fate.
Yeah,
don't tempt fate. That to me is a little bit different than being like, you can't walk.
You deserve
I'm gonna park in front of Harris Teeter. So anyways, I don't. I thought running the ball was a huge part of this thing. I mean, you thought Minnesota would come in and run the ball. It totally flipped. You thought Minnesota would have them in 3rd and long and that they would struggle in 3rd and long, but it actually flipped, and Minnesota struggled in 3rd and long. Kenny Gainwell looked like a number 1 running back out there. And I think Cashman being out certainly hurts Minnesota. You talked about like the MEs in the passing game. But Rodgers has been getting the ball out all year. That's one thing that, we knew he wasn't going to extend plays although his legs look better than last year. 2.5 seconds is the best in the league as far as getting the ball out. He was very good in that right yesterday. We talked about how the Steelers, if you're Arthur Smith, you might look at this Steelers team and say, hey, I see some retro Titans potential for us, like where we've got this big monstrous guy that we can get the ball on a slant and he can go the distance, right? Mm-hmm. We've got we can have a run game, which they finally got yesterday. They got that thing humming, and a quarterback that can play point guard and distribute the football, work the seams, that sort of stuff. Like I thought this looked like a professional offense yesterday. We talked about some of the issues the wide receivers and the quarterback have had getting on the same page. They're getting better. This was a good day for the offense. Totally good day for the offense.
Yeah, and like what you saw from them, it's a recipe they can replicate on a consistent basis, especially the way Rodgers is getting the ball out of his hand.
And for the defense, I mean, very opportunistic. That's the way they've been all year. Peyton Wilson, the rundown was huge. I'm not sure that Minnesota ends up. I've not seen a guy with that paint job run that fast, maybe ever, let alone a linebacker. That was incredible. By the way, Isaiah Rodgers broke the record since, I don't know.
Almost 24 miles an hour.
That's crazy, dude.
That's insane. And you remember, Chris, when you have those metrics and they like put it up in Philly, they used to kind of put it up on a board and try to get guys competitive about it. I don't think I ever saw anyone beat 22. And so for him to hit that in games, in pads and a helmet, in game where he was on a 7-hour flight the day before or whatever.
In Ireland.
There, that's incredible. Yeah.
Speed of
that's
light.
like a domestic 25 miles an hour.
Maybe it's something with the air out there.
Yeah, wonder,
make you run a little bit faster.
Was that in like
maybe it's
kilometers per hour or what? Like over there in Ireland?
They might have switched it to kilometers per hour. That's a good point, Bo.
But I'm surprised Conspiracy Facts wasn't on that.
No, yeah, you might. So you need to look into that. But that shaved a whole minute off the clock for Minnesota, and I think like it was just too tall a task with that offensive line to try to pick up big chunks. That to me is the lead when it comes to Minnesota. And I thought Pittsburgh did a great job rushing the passer and taking advantage of that. But in a game where you're down your left guard, who's a rookie, so like the depth behind him you can assume isn't great. And then you've got your center ends up with the second concussion of the season. You get Darisaw back last week. I didn't think he looked great in his debut. Didn't look great yesterday. And then you lose O'Neal. It's like one step forward, 2 steps back for this offensive line. The same thing that sunk him at the end of last season could be the thing that sinks him this year. And so, the good news is Addison's back and he looks good. But I thought this was a statement win for the Steelers because that's a good ball coach that they faced in Kevin O'Connell, and you figured he'd have a nice game plan schemed up. But the game plan did not include being down multiple scores with Carson Wentz being the quarterback.
Mm-hmm. And then the craziest thing about this game is, if you really think about it, if Justin Jefferson doesn't trip when he catches that pass, like he potentially scores on that play, and it's a totally different game because they end up what, only kicking a field goal or not even getting points out of that, and it's just like
I can't remember. That felt like 3 days ago.
I know,
It's
but
fucking too much football.
when that happened, when he tripped, I was just like, yo, he was about to score, and then they didn't end up scoring a touchdown on that drive. I was like, that probably might cost them the game and end up being a 3-point game. So it was probably.
And he went off. I mean,
Yep.
like, he had a good day. I mean, obviously having Addison back makes a big difference. But if you're Minnesota, you're in this weird spot, man. You're in a weird spot.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah, but they've been in a weird spot for like, it feels like 4 years. I mean, seriously.
So T.J. Watt had an incredible interception in this game.
Yeah.
He tipped it to himself. And we actually, for D linemen, I don't know if we struck lightning yesterday. We had 3 situations where 3 guys had like very similar tip it to yourself.
Crosby, him,
Sexy
Dexter.
Him, Sexy Dexy, and Max Crosby.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder which one was better on the day yesterday, but I just think it's incredible that 3 guys, that's one of those things as a D lineman for anyone out there. If you're not a D lineman, like to have a chance to catch an interception is amazing. But you always do these stupid drills in practice like that happen just like TJ Watts and these guys' interception happens. But it's like, it's literally like catching lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Like you do it in practice all the time, and in the back of your head, you're just like, this shit's never gonna happen. Like I'm never gonna get a chance to tip a ball.
It happens.
And it's going to come right to me so I can catch it and then keep running for a little bit, have a chance to score. And that happened 3 times yesterday.
I got tackled by the I did that in college and got tackled by the Atlanta Falcons wide receivers coach. TJ Yates.
Oh.
And passing game coordinator. So that's a real low light for me.
Oh, you didn't score?
Fuck no, I didn't score. It wasn't a getting caught thing. Did you score? You did against Maryland? I was at a bar. I was so hyped watching that game.
Crazy time.
We were playing the New England Patriots. Oh, you can show this, can't you?
Yeah, check this out.
Okay.
Ready?
God, look how grainy that is.
Oh, back in the day.
Bop.
Oh, yeah, you snatched it. Go, go, go.
TJ could run a little bit.
Oh.
He could run a little bit.
He's dual threat.
Selly. What was the Selly there, Chris?
There was no Selly.
You didn't
Boink.
hit the Jackson Dart?
Did you? So you were waiting back. You didn't engage with the tackle. You knew the throw was coming. Was that?
Run it back. I don't really know. I played in a 3-4, so like a lot of times you ended up like doing shit like this where you had to look. It's like I got to get contained.
You just read his eyes.
Yeah, just you know.
You got contained on the other side, right? So you're kind of just
waiting,
to
bro.
flush them through you.
Yeah. Speaking of Virginia, we'll probably talk about them later. They beat Florida State this weekend.
That was the Bears' assistant GM right there, Ian Yates.
Ian Yates Cunningham was on the field. This is like the who's who. You got TJ Yates and Ian Yates Cunningham. So anyways, we'll get to Bucs Eagles now for the bunch of people clamoring for that breakdown. Golly, dude. It's just like these guys, man. Everybody's gonna have gray hairs by the end of the year. Seriously,
Chris, did you know that the Eagles are 4-0? Did you know that?
I'm fucking well aware, dude.
Did you know they didn't complete a pass in the second half yesterday?
No way.
Like
That's crazy. I didn't hear that anywhere.
No, hey. So this is what I have written down. Okay, if you were to tell an Eagles fan 2 months ago, hey, let me take you in a little, like, get in the time machine. We're going to go to fucking September 29th. You're going to be 4-0. You just beat the Bucs in Tampa, which is like pulling the sword from the stone because they haven't been able to do that. Barkley had 43 yards rushing. He went for 2-3 a carry. A.J. Brown had 2 catches for 7 yards. Devontae had 2 catches. Jalen didn't complete a pass in the second half. And you're 4-0. And you beat the Bucs. And you had a 3-touchdown lead for half the game. Like, there's no rhetorical. It's not a rhetorical question. Like, how do you feel about that? I don't have it. I have a take. I have takes. But if I'm an Eagles fan, like, how do I feel about that? Do I feel good? Do I feel like fucking waiting for the other shoe to drop? Like, how do I feel? Nolan.
I mean, my mind as an Eagles fan goes to I hear all that, but then within the context of we beat the Rams, we beat the Bucks.
Yep.
To me is like
2 of the NFC's
feeling
elites.
fucking good. Yeah.
And you should. Now we can take the garbage out
Not
on Monday
great.
and look at
Yeah,
the
exactly.
second half offensive
Exactly.
game plan. Bo, you were at the game. How hot was it?
Ooh, brother, it was hot. I was sitting there in the stands and I was texting Gerald McCoy and I was like, how the fuck did we play in this stadium? It was crazy, dude. I don't even know. Like, the Eagles came down a couple days early. I went to dinner with Connor Barwin on Friday night and he was talking about their plan for acclimation and all that. And I was like, yeah, whatever.
Oh,
Like,
cool.
That's really going to help. But yeah, cool. Yeah, one day that's going to do it, boys. But it was fucking hot, man. But the Eagles got a hot start, so they kind of rolled with it. But it was interesting. That was my first ever Bucs game, and from the stands, like, dude, football games when you're there in person are kind of boring.
What are coaches and organizations' deals thinking that going somewhere
that they can play God and like
24 hours early is gonna get you acclimated to anything?
It's just gonna dehydrate you, bro.
Like, honestly, I don't get that.
I'm not really sure either.
Getting you off your regular weekly game
Right?
schedule for no reason.
Coaches on the road in the NFL are like, they're a mortal enemy of mine. Like the way they travel the players, the schedule, the curfew. I mean, like the fact that we all got to do a curfew.
Superstitions, right? Like
the coaches,
just like if how you pick that, like, hey, we're gonna do meeting this time or whatever.
Yeah, well, they have a way of doing things. The thing that always used to drive me the craziest, and not every staff's like this, maybe, but like they'd be like, "Get upstairs, you fucking adult men, and latch the door by 10 o'clock." We're all going out to dinner to get drunk with our wives, and we're going to be calling the game tomorrow, and you're going to get blamed for how we call the game. That was like my biggest pet peeve about coaches in the NFL on the road.
You better be in bed. We're going to come in and wake you up and look and make sure that you're in your bed.
But not us, because we're going to be out at the bar. We're going to send the strength coach. You're going to latch your door, and then we're going to open it at like 10:50 p.m. and wake you up. Okay, so anyways, the block punt out of the gate is huge. I mean, it's huge. I think there's actually 2 quotes floating around in my head this morning, and one of them's like, if you block a punt in the NFL, you have a 90% chance of winning. I don't know if that's true, but it's definitely up there. And as soon as that happened, as soon as you heard that sound and got that fortuitous bounce, like, you just knew the Eagles had a great chance of winning this game. And when you look back at how they found it, I mean, like, I went back and watched all the Bucs punt execution on the season, and like I think it was the first game. I think it was Atlanta, and what you have is they overload the side that they're attacking. They run a twist on the side of the personal protector and hold the personal protector because that center was giving up a really soft right shoulder. And what happened yesterday is exactly what we saw, like, in that Atlanta game. You know, so that I think, and I'm not a big special teams guy, but I think that's where they drew that from. And then, you know, once you get that block punt, the whole game changes. So that was huge. And kudos to them for, like, within 15 minutes of game time, you block 3 kicks in 2 weeks. You know, that's just enormous. And I thought, like, Jalen, obviously a tale of 2 halves and everything, but 2 weeks ago against the Rams, it felt to me like getting down almost did this offense a favor, because it forced them into a style of play that in that matchup was best for them. I thought they had a big advantage over that secondary. I thought in this game, getting up, it cost the Bucs their one advantage. I thought the Bucs would be able to run the ball, and I think they had 20 yards their first 2 carries. But as soon as they got down 14-0. I think that's the next time Bucky Irving touched the football out of the backfield. So they kind of became a little bit more one-dimensional. Obviously,
especially with an O-line that's pretty beat up. I mean, Tristan was back, which was big for the Bucs. Like, you know, he's still got to he's a great player, freak athlete, stud, but, you know, he's been out. He's got to get his feet wet a little bit. And when they have to throw the ball that many times with that right guard, left guard, it's tough.
Yeah.
And their back right tackle, like, against the rushers from Philly, like, that's a tall task.
No, you could see it, and in the run game at times, like, trying to run behind that right side's a little bit tougher for them. But, like, I thought, you know, like, the second half, Patullo failed to stay ahead of Bowles. Like that. Let's skip to the part that Eagles fans want to hear. It's like, what happened in the second half? I think he just failed to stay ahead of the curve. You know, spot route to A.J. Brown became super predictable. All the underneath stuff's getting jumped by multiple guys. They're running into bad looks. Jalen airmailed his shots. Like, I don't know what happened with him. Bowles went to the sim pressures. That was a big difference from the first half. The sim pressures in the second half, I think it caused a little bit of confusion. But you knew Bowles was going to counter. I mean, like, they've had a big advantage in this matchup, obviously without A.J. Brown playing for the Eagles. But you knew at some point Bowles was going to have a counter for this young coordinator, and he did. And it was ugly in the second half. It was fucking hideous. They didn't complete a pass. I think the offensive line's beat up. I know the offensive line's beat up. I mean, Lane left the game yesterday. Landon Dickerson wasn't healthy when he started the season. When you watch him, I know he's hurting, and I think he's an absolute warrior. But, Steen's not Becton. And I would go as far as saying if this team's going to win with this offensive line, and I'm not calling the offensive line out because I think the tackles are fantastic. I think they got a great guard who's really fucking banged up right now. If they win with this group, it would be the most unique run that they've had because this isn't the 23 O-line. It's not the 24 O-line. And I don't even think it's this. I know it's not the 17 O-line, where we went to the Super Bowl. So this would be, if they can make this run, pretty impressive because the run game, as I mentioned earlier, is just not there. It's just not there. And you got a coordinator who's pretty predictable calling the plays in the second half of this game. It's like, man, they have to play complete games if they want to go where they're trying to go. And last year I felt like they avoided those lulls in the passing game because they had a run game. That's kind of their life preserver. If they don't have that, everything else becomes a lot harder for the quarterback and for the guys outside. And then you get fucking quotes like this. I'm coming to you, Bo. But, like, this was the other quote in my head this morning. If you are not welcomed, listen to, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene. Shrug your shoulders and be on your way, and tweet about it on the way out.
Amen.
Exactly. Which when I read that quote, I was like, is that like marital advice? Is he doing like a relationship thing? I don't feel appreciated, but you can tell with all those all those targets that like either sailed out of bounds or just not creative ways to get him involved. Like that's frustrating. Yeah. It goes to show you it's not enough to be one of the best wide receivers in the fucking league. You have to be used correctly. And it's a good time to remind you of Denny Carter's legendary tweet that kind of breaks down how each position group tweets.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see this?
Typical QB tweet. I love my teammates. God is good. Running back tweet. Keep grinding.
This is my favorite one.
Tight end tweet. Dirt.
That just reminds me of like Travis's old tweets that resurfaced. It's like a perfect example.
Oh my God. And then wide receiver tweet. The enemy speaks kindly and holds the knife.
Like, what is that? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the type of shit wide receivers are on.
What's a D-line tweet?
D-line tweet?
Yeah.
I don't. We're kind of
boats and hoes. Boats and hoes.
I don't know what the D-line tweet is, but these are so accurate to. But anyways, it's just there's a bad vibe around the offense right now, and like and what sucks is media members and like former players. And Bo, I'm sure you have something to say on it, but like how can we not piss off some of the fans talking about it? If like we're riding a roller coaster just like the fans. Fans like 1 week it's like. One half, it's like Patullo's the fucking truth, man. Did you see that script? When you look back at the script, there was some creative little red zone plays, and they had answers for the blitz, which took them years to do in this matchup. But, like, did they do anything revolutionary? I don't know. So, they're riding the wave. So are we. I don't know what to make of this offense at all. I mean, I think I know what to make of it.
Well, that's kind of what I want to speak to a little bit is the thing that's been – frustrating for me is just the lack of creativity in the run game. I know everyone's talking about the pass stuff, the no completed passes that Fax immediately brought up, all that kind of thing. Like those are big buzzwords, but it just doesn't feel like the O-line is on the same page. And you said it, Chris, like this is a super talented unit. Jordan Mailata is playing at a really high level. Landon is really good. He's banged up. Juergens is good. He's a little banged up too. Lane's banged up, but I don't feel like there's any creativity in the run game. When you have like one of the most talented running backs in the history of the NFL, I thought it was so interesting. the Eagles' run game is so predictable, and the only creativity we saw on Sunday from their run game was out of all the tush push.
I
thought was a little bit of a
I was just about to jump in and say that to you. I was like,
no.
You don't think that was creative? You don't think that's creative?
No, it was. You could tell that they'd just been waiting for the perfect opportunity to bust these plays out. You guys, the tush push. Oh, we're all talking about the tush push. How it should be banned. Well, here we're gonna pretend like we're running, and fuck you, we're not running it at all. It's actually something completely different.
I would love that they leaned into it and they started the game doing lining up for the tush push and doing 3 different variations of that type of play that they did, just to piss everyone off, just to have everyone on notice, but also too it'll make offensive or defensive coordinators have to put it in practice, have to practice against it, and we all know that the Eagles are the only ones that really know how to run it. So knowing that, you can't really practice trying to stop it if you don't have people who can stimulate
it. It's so fundamentally hard to defend. And then once you add those wrinkles onto it, it just creates another level of it. We're like, okay, they can just fucking mash you for a first down every time, or else, hey, they can get the ball in some sort of strange wing T style offense to Saquon Barkley and run for a touchdown. Like it's very interesting. It's impossible to defend.
Listen, I mean, we always talk about this offensive line. They are the common thread between all the Super Bowl appearances, the couple Super Bowls that have bookended the last decade. I really do think it would be their biggest feat if they could go win this thing with this offensive line, because they've always had that security blanket. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to boil it down to it's just the guard or but they've been 4 or 5 deep now at every position up front. And, I think Fred Johnson's played admirably when he's factored in, but if Lane's not healthy, that's a huge deal. Dickerson's clearly not healthy. I remember Juergens finished the season. Here's one thing about this team as a whole, and fans need to remember it because it's not something Eagles fans, at least younger Eagles fans, are probably used to at this point, but get used to it. Your team has been playing football for 3 years straight. There are dudes that were playing into February every year now, a lot like we marvel at the way New England gets back there every year in Tom Brady's time period, or the way Kansas City. That's the hard thing about building a dynasty is number one, you have to keep your focus, keep the players in the building, retool every year, but also you have to stay healthy. You have to have good luck. And there's a lot of attrition, the physical style of football they played last year, not just for the running back, for the guys clearing the holes for the running back. So in the meantime, you got to get some quick game. You got to get some easy answers for Jalen Hurts.
And I think that's, Chris, where my biggest area of uncertainty is as a fan around the team is come back. I mentioned beating the Bucs, beating the Rams. They beat the Chiefs, who are going to be somewhere in the AFC playoff picture. They beat the Cowboys too, who went toe-to-toe with the Packers last night. 4 really good wins, but the uncertainty around the identity with the offense, I think, is we've talked about the offensive line, how that's been everything they've built around offensively over the last few years. If you're not going to run the ball at a dominant level, you're probably going to have to become more of a quick game team. And maybe that's, trying to reverse engineer the AJ tweet. Maybe that's what he was getting at. Maybe there's something on the sideline of quick game, quick game, quick game. I don't know.
I think that was a quick game tweet. I'm going with that. I know you're no.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's
especially
a quick game. I'm with you,
Todd defense.
It's just a quick game tweet. That's a good.
That's it.
I was hoping to talk about the Bucs for a little bit, boys.
Can we finish with the winners? Because
it's been about 30 minutes here, but I'm ready.
God damn, dude, what else you got to do today? Can we shout out the defense? No, we're gonna cancel talking about the defense. Bo wants to talk about the Bucs. Go ahead, Bo.
No, talk about the defense. What do you got?
No, Eagles fans. Bo wants to talk about the Bucs.
I want to talk about the Bucs.
I want to talk about the Eagles defense because I don't think the Bucs played particularly well yesterday. Obviously you get a kick blocked, all that stuff. We'll get there in a second, but I thought that DeJean and Quignon are franchise-altering draft picks, and you got them in 1 year. And when you talk about them yesterday, Bo, you can't talk about them without talking about the Bucs' tendency to want to attack Quignon Mitchell. I do not know why they spent so much time targeting those two guys yesterday. It was like Shepard didn't exist at times. and Ringo's out there, super physical. He's not afraid of anything. I love the way he battles, but like he's a handsy cat, and eventually you're gonna get flagged for some of the stuff that he does, and they didn't look his way a lot, and that was a little bit surprising. But I thought the defense just stood up. Fangio, what a hire! They've done everything right the last 2 years. They've developed their defense as the years gone on, and it seems like they're continuing to do that. Bo, you want to talk about the Bucs? Go ahead.
I'd like to talk about the Bucs. I think one thing I was disappointed in,
Eagles
Chris Godwin. I love him. I think he's a really physical player. He's been injured. This is his first game back. I think he had 2 drops where you could just kind of tell that he seemed a little bit rusty, and it's like that's not who he is as a player. The schedule, like I know him personally, and the plan for him was always kind of come back, and after 4 weeks, you have to feel a little bit like he, was maybe rushed. I don't know if he rushed himself back, or the injury to Mike Evans maybe hurried up his clock a little bit.
He didn't look right.
Yeah, he just looked a little still, kind of getting his feet wet, still getting acclimated. It's hard to jump in, week 4 and play and not get those hits, those catches, those game reps, before that. So I love Chris. I think he's going to be a pivotal part of the Bucs team going on the stretch. Just really would have loved for him to secure some of those balls. And then Bucky Irving and Igbuka, like that, I can't believe that ball snuck through that long one to Igbuka. I hated his celebration. They were down by like 3 scores, and he did like a Antonio Brown.
I said the same thing, but that wasn't the difference. I know we've seen some tweets today that are like, "Oh, you could have used those seconds." I'm like, yeah, I guess they might be.
I'm not even saying
the ball
that.
to you.
I'm saying like, dude, act like you've been there before. Like it was a great play.
Yeah,
he's a rookie,
awesome
right?
catch, great touchdown. But like
he hasn't been there before though. He's a rookie. He got to
touche, Bo. Touche, Bo.
So like,
damn, bro.
Like that rubbed me the wrong way. And then Bucky Irving, like he's just been a stud for him, man. You talked a little bit about the Bucs trying to get their run game going. I don't think their run game has been a strength over their, the first part of the season, and then last year especially. It's just think about trying to run the ball if you're the Bucs offensively against the likes of Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. I think Morrow's playing really well too. Zach Bond.
Yep.
A bunch of studs on the front 7 for the Eagles defense with a super banged up offensive line. Cody Mock is out. Tristan Wirfs has been out. Graham Barton was playing left tackle all season until now. You know what I mean? So, like, you're not going to make a lot of hay in the run game. And so, consequently, you see Bucky have 5 receptions for 102 yards, 72-yard long. Like, he's been a stud, man. And he's been a really key part of this game. And, Rashad White's really good, too. So, the Bucs dropped one. I think we were all kind of expecting this to be a little bit more of a game. The punt got him behind early, and then, you're kind of fucked from there. I still think that the Bucs are the class of the NFC South, and will be fun to watch going forward. Also, Vita had 2 sacks on defense, which I loved.
Yeah, he was great. He kind of ran out of gas trying to chase Jalen down on the sideline. That was that. But when you talk about the Bucs, man, because I do think the Bucs are very good, and I think we might well have. And I know Eagles fans are going to say, well, we didn't play well. Neither did the fucking Buccaneers, dude. Like, I think this is a possible playoff preview at some point, whether it's the divisional round or the NFC Championship. And to me, like, Baker, as gutsy as he is and as great as he is at getting them out of trouble, I just thought that throw at the goal line was just a cardinal sin. Mm-hmm. It's a cardinal sin. At that point, you're down 8 in a ball game where you have all the momentum. The momentum has completely shifted. And you are down there in the red zone on first down, and he gets out of trouble, and instead of just dirting the ball or throwing it out of bounds and living to fight another day, you throw it into traffic in the end zone. I was a Blankenship or DeJean made a play on the ball, but tipping the ball. I think the ball was tipped, but it was an ill-advised throw. And the thing I hate so much about it is this: the way the Eagles are be a game manager when it's time to be a game manager. The Eagles' offense is playing awful. If you kick a field goal in that scenario, you're going to be down 5. And you're going to be kicking the ball off to an offense that's barely moved the ball. The way you're playing, you're going to get it right back probably. And if you score a touchdown, if you see it through and you score a touchdown, miss a 2-point conversion, you know how much pressure goes on the Eagles' offense, who has not been playing well in the second half. That, to me, was a big deal. And the Eagles also did a great job in the middle of the field. look at the passing chart. I don't think Baker Mayfield had a very productive day in the middle of the field. The other problem I mentioned already, like throw the ball to somebody not named Mitchell or at somebody not named Mitchell or DeJean at some point in the game. So yeah, it's just not the Bucs script. I think they'll be fine. They're doing this with 3 fucking offensive linemen down. Now the Eagles at different points in the game are replacing multiple guys too. So
now Eagles fans, the first thing we said on this breakdown was, Jalen Hurts 0-8 in the second half. Spin it with this stat right here. NFL teams are 15-1 since 2000 when completing 0 second half passes.
Well, yeah.
A lot of run game in the second half.
Because the teams that are probably doing that are probably up by like 3 scores.
Yeah, that's also like the stat where they're like, hey, if you run the ball really well, like you always win. And, it's like they came first.
Some guy at McGillen's
that is
that stat.
Yeah, but that is a wild stat. I'd like to see what the other games were.
Right.
Yeah. What the fuck?
There's a crazy stat about like the Cowboys in Green Bay, like 300. It was like 300 games where any team score 40 points and have no turnovers, like are 300-0, and now it's 300-0.
0-1.
Can somebody go down and get my DoorDash? This poor lady's been in the car for 2.5 hours.
I'll go get it.
Yeah.
That stat, with the end result of the host Cowboys teams with 40 or more points and no turnovers at home, including the playoffs, are now 301-1.
I don't even
300-0-1 all time.
And listen, the smoothie's going to be cold, and I don't want it right now, but I just feel bad for the young lady.
No problem.
She's been in the car 2 hours, Reed.
Get her on the pod.
Tell her to
give her a high five.
Tell her to come up and do a traffic report. All right, so anyways, Eagles fans, it's just cardiac birds, man. They haven't played a full game like barely all season. Well, I did think the Kansas City game was a pretty nice in-phase win. The Dart debut in New York. Golly, man. The Giants. Now, people are going to make a big deal about the Dart thing. G-Man. I'm not going to the Dart thing is nice. Like he played fine. Like he had moments. I thought there was one play backed up that we referenced. 3rd and 6, where he climbs the pocket and rips it. There were also moments where the ball probably could have came out sooner.
Yeah.
He's the classic guy where, and I think I'm not putting a ceiling on him. I'm just talking about him like if Bo and I were preparing, me, Bo, and Nate sitting in a D-line room talking about Jackson Dart, we'd say, hey, we got to watch the way we rush this guy because he's athletic.
Yeah.
He crosses the threshold of where you gotta change the way you call a game a little bit. You can do more things with the run game. You saw Dayball, and they probably had this in their back pocket for a month, like burning a hole in his back pocket. Like, can we put the athletic guy in?
Yeah.
But
that lead draw was nice. The quarterback design lead draw. That was nice.
But he is going to take sacks, and he is a rookie. And now he's down Malik Neighbors, which is terrible. And this is the most shocking stat that I've. How was she? Was she okay?
Yeah.
Was she shaken up?
No. She was very apologetic, and I said, "Don't be."
No, we're sorry that you had to do that for 2+ hours.
No, she was good.
Okay, so this was the thing that blew my mind this morning of everything I read. Giants have drafted 6 wide receivers and tight ends in the first 2 rounds since 2014. Odell Beckham Jr., Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram, Kadarius Toney, Wan'Dale Robinson, Malik Neighbors. 5 of 6 have suffered season-ending injuries at MetLife Stadium. Is it a burial ground, or is it just the worst playing surface in professional sports?
Well, what's incredible is that the World Cup is being hosted there next year,
and they're going to change to.
Yes, they're spending, but a $10 billion franchise can't do that for their team that plays there. But
who's spending that money next year?
That's a great question. Either way, wild.
No, it is
Let's
wild.
Find out.
I mean, the fact that the NFL isn't you've got skill guys at this point tweeting about it.
Yeah.
Like skill guys are the guys that always want to go inside during the season and practice on turf when the weather's bad. But now the tide's turned to where they're like, fuck, dude. Can we get some fescue?
It's more than just the Giants. Like, it's not just like a bad look for the Giants. I think it's a bad look for the league. I think this is somewhere the management counselors step in and be like, yo, we gotta gotta find a solution here because
it's also hideous to look at.
right.
Everything looks better on grass. Like your ratings are going to go
It
up.
might be a dumb question, but like, if they're not footing the bill for putting the grass in, why can't they just keep it?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, but then they have
you
to
gotta
maintain
pay for,
it.
yeah, but like,
And where
you
would the
already
money
have-
come from?
you already have the guys typically on like a field crew or whatever they're called.
I'm with you. How about the fact that these owners will go play golf in the dead of winter somewhere and the grass is beautiful,
yeah.
but we can't put in some fucking Kentucky bluegrass
I don't get it.
in the state of New York? Like it might get a little
Might be
chunky and
dead a little bit.
it might be a little brown at times, but like who cares, dude?
Turf.
You're not going to be losing guys like Malik Neighbors. Now, the saving grace, if you're watching the Giants this year, is you do get to see Scatabo every week.
Golly.
He is he the white Frank Gore? Is he going to end up the white Frank Gore?
Oh, wow.
When I squinted my
Player
eyes last
comp,
night,
Brandon Jacobs.
I thought he was
No.
just, what you call it? Isn't he just Michael Allstott?
I don't know if he's Mike Allstott, but last night I was squinting
racist,
my eyes and he looked sensational. Like if you really like are just like
Yeah.
kind of look through your eyebrows,
But how long does that last?
why does it have to last not very long?
Huh?
Forever. Oh,
Why for him does it not have to
I know.
last?
No, I hear you, bro. Like I love it, but I just watch it and I'm just like
I said the
I'm
same
like,
thing.
I'm
We
like-
said the same thing.
Yeah, like
last night.
how
I felt like
how
a
does
hater,
he,
but-
how does he feel after games? Like I know how you
yeah.
feel as a D lineman after a game, but like I'm a D lineman feeling like pain, and the whole game I'm tackling a guy like Scatabo, and he's running hard, and I just can't see how that is going to translate into
He's
him.
the hammer, not the nail, though.
Absolutely,
Dog.
dude.
Contact.
He was
No,
the
I
nail
hear
on
you.
one
Literally.
play.
He, he was the nail a couple times.
He was the nail a couple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Like legit, he tried to hurdle somebody on like second and long.
Oh my
like
God.
like every play is varsity blues for him. Every play is like and that's what I love about watching him play. And I got a lot of fucking respect for this guy because he really like puts everything into he hits the hole and he's launching into D tackles, like seeking contact
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
ball in his
Stunt
hand.
man.
Yes.
But he tried to hurdle somebody, and I think Dye came over and tattooed him, and it was like it was like he jumped out of a moving vehicle was the way he hit the ground, dude. He just is he's such a football player.
Yeah.
He's such a football player.
He's gonna get 4 yards or die trying. Is the way he plays. Like it is
Get on my
unbelievable.
soapbox a little bit about this guy because I think it's so interesting because you have him, you have Scatabo, and then you have Jackson Dart. And for my anti-Bevel Conway, it was a great drive. All right, for Jackson Dart as a rookie, it was like 80 yards on the field. He ended up with a rushing touchdown, and then he does this big classic white guy fist pump. First touch on the NFL. And I was like, oh, okay, sick. And then he started doing his TikTok dance, and I was furious.
It's an
I was
aura farming thing. You don't understand
Fire.
aura
I could
farming,
not
dude.
get my
Fire.
head around it. I hate him now. I hate his high neck, like undershirt,
Cope
chain over
Boomer.
top, and the
I know,
TikTok
right?
dance. But you have a dude who's like Scatabo's tough as nails. Dude probably doesn't even tape his ankles or wrists or nothing. Like he probably wears like Russell Athletic. You know,
I
what I
think
mean?
he's
Like,
on TikTok
he's
too,
on-
Yeah, I
bro.
think
whatever.
I think it's a
saying,
youth
like the way
movement.
that they play. All right, is very different. You got a guy who like you could pump him into like 1980s, and then you got Jackson Dart,
Dang.
NIL TikTok.
But
Jackson-
new
Jackson,
segment,
look,
Bo yells at Cloud.
Right? Look, Jackson Dart's gonna hear this segment. He's gonna do a quick deep dive, and he's gonna be like, not the dude in fucking Heelys telling me I can't do a TikTok dance. Like, no way. He's telling me
Why
I
are my
can't.
Heelys catching strays right now?
Hey, well, can I say this though? But Jackson Dart, for all the shit we're giving him about aura farming and all that, and I had to like explain to a couple people what that was last night because they're not hip like me. But like, Dart shouted out Russell Wilson after the game and said, "Man, this week must have been real tough. Like, he's a professional. I appreciate him."
That's lit.
Do you know how far that fucking goes, dude? That's called emotional intelligence, which
Probably
is the
goes as
first
far as
ingredient.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, you're right. I hope it's
Ooh.
Cincinnati. Emotional intelligence is one of the most underrated leadership traits. Period.
Hands down.
And to me that was like, it's a small thing, but that goes a long fucking way. And you know, like, not to compare him to Zach Wilson when he was in New York, and obviously he hasn't dealt with what Zach Wilson was dealing with, and you know, through 1 week. But remember when Zach Wilson like kind of had some questionable post game, you know, bus throwing kind of sound bites, and you know, you live and you learn. But this guy right out the gate is saying the right things. It's a lot easier after a win, but in the city of New York, he's going to have a fucking microphone in his face a lot, and I thought that was a really good sign. Talking about it from the Chargers end, I did not love the game plan. It took a long time until I saw the first run. It felt like breaking down the film, and in the split, I think you said what 13-40 or something like that.
13-43.
13-43. Like, that's unforgivable. I know they have a good front. I know Dexter Lawrence is a motherfucker, but I also saw Hampton break a couple explosive runs in this game.
Yeah, looked good.
And you know, Herbert threw 2 picks. Neither of them are really on him. Like, the first one's Dexter Lawrence, you know, at the line playing volleyball, and then the next one, you got guys running into each other, which I thought was indicative of how the Chargers played in this game offensively. I did not love the game plan. I would have loved to see them run the football to control this front, right? Because can I be the first to say it 5 times? And I'm sure Giants fans have said this before, but I don't know if anybody's paying enough attention to Abdul Carter.
Oh, yep.
He could have had fucking 5 yesterday.
Yeah, 5 QB hits.
I love the way he rushes. Like I said in preseason, he is on your edge when he's down the middle of you. Mm-hmm. There is not a snap that I look at where he does not successfully attack an edge. Just a stud, dude. And Burns is criminally underrated. Yeah. Right?
Dog.
But then you got Thibodeau, who played his ass off yesterday. He's your third rusher. They got a really good group, man. They played hard.
Those 3 you just said combined for 20 pressures in that game. So you could just imagine that threw Herbert off a lot, seeing those guys flashing and getting up off the ground after being hit and looking up being like, damn, you hit me again?
Yeah.
Like, you again?
Yeah. and if it wasn't Herbert, somebody else would have got sacked 6 times. There were times where Herbert was like falling to the ground.
Yep.
He and just chucking it somewhere, so strong. And he's like, if you're a rusher in that game, you got to be pissed off, man. But I see Abdul Carter. You are a dog, bro. He's going to make a lot of plays in this league. He's a smart rusher.
And we talked about earlier, Dexter Lawrence had a Chris Long.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. Dexter Lawrence, man. I mean,
and what was they did the stats on him? He ran how fast? And he's 300 and something pounds. He was in the mid-teens.
But there's a reason I didn't used to put that fucking that catapult under my pads. They used to be like, hey, why aren't you wearing your catapult? Because, motherfucker, I don't need to get clocked in at 15 miles an hour. You're going to cut me. My deceptive speed isn't deceptive anymore when you clock me.
Dexter Lawrence
I think he got to 23, right? 23.5 miles an hour.
Dexter?
Yeah.
Talking about Dexter?
He hit 17.3, second fastest speed of any player his weight, 342 pounds or more since his start.
These stats are fucking stupid.
So 340?
Yeah.
340, 17 miles per hour.
The fastest speed by a man over 342 pounds with an X in his name.
Dude,
at
he
MetLife
hit
Stadium this decade.
He hit 17.5 in Week 5 of 2019.
I mean, he's really fucking
that's
fast.
Crazy.
Dude. That's crazy. Yeah, that could be fatal. You know, you just standing there and Dexter.
I give
Lawrence
credit Herbert. I give credit to Herbert diving in there to trip him up.
Hell yeah, dude.
Like,
hell yeah.
Imagine 340 pounds falling on your arm the wrong way, like trying to trip someone up.
Hey, you get Jason streeted, bro.
Somebody said to let Vax know his shades are a little bit crooked.
Oh, my bad.
Man, that's a tough look.
My bad.
But yeah, just one note on Chargers offense, Chris. I agree with you. I think I've just been a little bit confused with their offensive identity ever since Week 1. Like, I love what I saw from them Week 1. Felt like it was going to be built around play action pass, complemented with the kind of like downhill run game that Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman both want to be a part of the team's identity.
That's right.
But you take out of Week 1, since that point, they've been 22nd in EPA per play, 19th in success rate. They're not explosive. They're below league average in both phases, explosive play rate. I don't know. It feels like to me they're trying to fit more of like a spread out, lot of gun, like a KC, Cincy, Philly type vision. But I think like with Herbert's skill set and what they want to be, we should be seeing more of a like under center,
play
everything
action.
built around Pat, like Detroit, Rams,
Fuck yeah, dude.
San Fran, like that kind of
wrong tree
system. Yeah, exactly.
Wrong tree. Right branch, wrong tree.
Exactly.
And we're looking at it, and I'm just like, the reason I doubted the Chargers coming into the season, I've come around on them, but this is something that popped up yesterday. To be fair, how many tackles can you lose? I mean, you can lose guards, you can lose centers.
Down Becton going to the game.
But, but you lost Slater, which kind of led me to doubt you, and now you're down Alt. I'm not going to jump off the bandwagon, but, like, if the protection looks like this for another month, I'm sorry. I have to be an analyst at some point.
Totally.
He's been pressured on 50 of 95 dropbacks over the last 2 weeks.
Golly.
That's insane.
That's wild.
And you know what it was? Like, they played the Raiders, and they won that game, and it's a young season, and we're so impressed, and I was impressed with the way they played in a lot of ways in that game. But, like, it's just some of the things that you project a couple weeks later when they see great rushers. That pop up a little bit on film, and you get away with it.
Yeah.
You can't get away with it with a group like that.
Yeah, in those 2 weeks, I mean, he saw probably 2 of the best 5 D-lines in the league, right?
Yep.
But he can't have those throws. Like, he won't – Justin Herbert, as good as he is – This isn't a
Justin Herbert critique, by the way.
No. Yeah. And as good as he is, he can't make – the throw that he did against Nick Bonito to Keenan Allen.
Not all day long, dude. Right. You can't ask him to make that play. Exactly. That's a great point, Reed. It's just like if this guy's going to be under duress the entire time, you see what being under duress did to Patrick Mahomes for a long stretch of time with that offensive line. Like, and he's the guy you've been trying to kill in division for what feels like a decade. So,
See what being under duress does to Bryce Young.
Yeah, right, exactly. Fuck, dude. Get my guy, dude. Rescue my guy. So let's talk about the Chiefs. I'll start with the winning team. Do you remember Thursday when we talked about this and we were sitting here and said, I'm going to try to phrase this the right way. What do you think is gonna flip the script more? The Ravens getting the guys that they're missing back or the Chiefs getting the guys that they're missing back? And I said it's the Chiefs because Rashee Rice, who's not even on the field. He's your screen game. He's probably your number 1 wide receiver. He's been missing. Xavier Worthy, the vertical element, the horizontal element. You saw this yesterday when he gets back in the game. They don't just stretch you vertically. They stretch you horizontally. Okay? And at that point, everything that comes off of that, the Chiefs are not only the team that can go take out a big chunk in cover 2, or take a big shot and beat man coverage down the field because they've got one of the best quarterbacks of all time. They're also a team that can kill you running mesh. And, they're also a team that stresses linebackers when they're the best version of themselves. And that guy adds an element underneath that people ignore when they think about, like, oh, he's just a vertical threat. No, Thornton's just a vertical threat. Worthy's a guy you can do a lot with, and it showed up in the run game yesterday. It showed up. I thought – and this isn't me jumping out of the gym for Kansas City, who I think they got a long way to go, and they'll have stiffer tests than that yesterday because you know what I think of the Ravens at this point. The Chiefs, to me, yesterday looked as comfortable as they've looked offensively the past couple years because now he's got both things at once. He's got a vertical element, receivers that aren't dropping the football because they had that for a whole year, and an offensive line that's not getting him killed, which they had last year. And yesterday they kept him clean. He was sacked once. You talked about the left side of the offensive line, which continues to improve, facing a defensive line consisting of Tavius Robinson, Mike Green, John Jenkins, and our boy Brent Urban, who's being asked to play a lot of snaps. So the point is,
Big Urban.
I think the Chiefs have a lot of reasons to be excited seeing what just Xavier Worthy does to this group. We said it in preseason. The offensive line is going to be the best group he's had over the past couple of years. We'll see what happens from here on out. I don't think that the Ravens are a particularly good football team right now, and I think that's more what we should be talking about because it's a more shocking thing to me when you look at the way people pick the Ravens in preseason. People looked at me like I was on crack when I took the Bengals to win the AFC North. Well, that might not happen now, but it's not because of it's because of Joe Burrow. The Ravens look like they have no identity. Like that to me is just wild. When you have an MVP back there at quarterback, year after year, they've asked him to, and we haven't even gotten to the defense, which is a train wreck right now. I mean, in this current state, the guys leaving the game and everything,
We just got an update that Nnamdi Madubuike is out for the season.
They're fucked.
Yeah.
They're fucked. I'm sorry, they're fucked. I try to be fair about every team, and they're only 1-3, and there's a long time to make this up. But to me, like today, watching the Ravens on tape, I don't feel like, at least in this matchup, they're ever going to feel good this year, because what do you have to have when you play Kansas City? Well, you got to have guys outside on defense. You got to have rushers that can get to Mahomes. You got to have really good backers. And I don't think Roquan Smith has looked great. And Teddy Buchanan, they attacked him early and often in that game. And to me, when you don't have the pass rush, you don't have great backers in space. Even their good players like Marlon Humphreys getting picked on a little bit over the past couple weeks. I mentioned last week that there were a couple guys that jump off the film. Kyle Hamilton's one of them. I think Marlon, when he's at his best, certainly is a big plus, but he hasn't been great lately. Wiggins is a hell of a player, but Wiggins wasn't perfect yesterday. It just stresses everybody on the defense. And you talk about offense, they got an MVP who, in my opinion, guys, I don't know if you see this as well or not, but I think he left the game with a hamstring. I want to be careful about the language I'm using. I'm wondering if he's lost, and I don't mean throwing the football, because I think he looks great throwing the football. Has he lost a step running the football, evading defenders in the backfield, extending plays? And I asked that question because, listen, I know that it's easy to be like, well, he's been hurt. He left the game with a hamstring yesterday. I don't doubt that was a hamstring injury. People that say he quit on his team, they just fucking hate Lamar Jackson. I got the utmost respect for the cat. But in every player's career, there's a moment where you're like, damn, he lost a step, didn't he? And he hasn't lost a step throwing the football. He's still throwing darts. But a lot of their passing game over the years has been predicated on them running these longer developing route concepts and asking him to make magic happen. You ask me what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when he breaks contain yesterday and Drew Tranquil has not even a great angle to the sideline and he beats him to the sticks. Or last week when Nowaski's standing in the middle of the field like a traffic cop and Lamar can't get out of it. Or him pulling a read option and I froze the film last night in a couple moments where I was like, okay, if I froze the film here, what do you think 70% of America would say? A, picks up the first down. B, first down and explosive. C, gets stopped short of the 6. Most people are going to say first down and a fucking explosive because that's Lamar Jackson. I'm worried his legs aren't where they were, and that could be a short-term thing. He could be dinged all the first month of the season, as we often are, and it's not on the injury report. But it is troubling to me that when they put so much on this motherfucker's shoulders, the minute he loses a step, the offense is completely out of whack. They're also, not having Likely early in this season matters. I think that absolutely matters, and we'll see when he comes back. But that is I want to get off my soapbox now, and I want you guys to tell me if you see the same thing.
Well, I was just wondering if maybe, just like you said, we didn't know about a lingering injury or something that came out of camp that they maybe didn't put on the reports, and maybe the fact that Lamar is so explosive and the way he does run that he tweaked that hamstring even more. And if that hamstring was already tweaked and we didn't know, I feel like that would probably make him throttle down and not go all out like we're used to seeing.
So devil's advocate, and I thought about this because I was like, yeah, well, shit, as a player, we know shit happens all the time under the radar that people don't know. But in a 37-20 ball game or whatever it is in the second half, if he has a pre-existing injury, they're not going to be running quarterback run plays if they're smart. And they were. So to me, I look at it and I'm like, what is he did the legs get a little heavier this year? Is he dinged? We won't know now because he's got a hamstring injury that is it out of the question that he misses time?
I don't know. I don't know what the latest update was. They did have so Likely did play yesterday on a pitch count.
Yes, on a pitch count.
But yeah, we'll see when you can get a full.
You're not getting a full.
Right.
You haven't gotten him. It's been 3 weeks of him doing nothing, and then all of a sudden he's out there for a little bit. It's going to take time to get on the same page with the guy that probably, and this is what makes it hard, and it wasn't the Andrews drop. They were anticipating a changing of the guard at that position. He was going to become the primary target. I also don't know. I don't know about Keaton Mitchell.
And this is from just moments ago, Ian Rappaport, John Harbaugh on Lamar Jackson and his hamstring injury. The way I know Lamar, if he could have gone in the game, he would have been in the game. That's how Lamar is. Does open the door to Lamar Jackson missing next Sunday against the Texans.
But why are we even asking the question? If any other quarterback gets hurt in the fucking fourth quarter and has to leave with ice on their hamstring, and this is a really inexact study. Logging on is not an exact science. But, like, I see a lot of people questioning his injury. Like, why does he even have to make that comment? Lamar's a stud, man, and I hope for the best for Lamar Jackson, but I do feel like this organization at different turns in the road has failed him a little bit in the way they've set up the offense at times, not having the receivers out there. Then they give him a fantastic run game last year. And the part of it that he has to own is he hasn't been great in the playoffs. And that is the reason why when you ask me to rank quarterbacks in the NFL, I always start with, hey, if you want me to take Mahomes first, I'll take him first, but Josh Allen second. And that is because Lamar has not performed in the playoffs. But he is a fabulous fucking football player that, in my opinion, is running an offense that will not suit a guy that is running around like the one I've seen the first month of the season. And so they need to make an adjustment.
Right.
Dang, I guess we got to go online and get a Raven stuffed animal because seems like Ravens might be on the grill.
Ravens?
They might be.
They might. I mean, they might be on the grill.
They're 1-3, man. There's not a lot of hope for them right now.
And
they're 1-3.
1-3, and with the quarterback questionable.
The quarterback's hurt.
And Nate said you said they're going into the Texans game.
Oh yeah, 1-3
Texans, Rams, Bears.
1-3 Ravens next week versus the 1-3 Texans.
Dude,
losers cook. It's the cook-off.
It is the cook-off. That's a really good. It's a cook-off.
Brought to you by Cookout.
Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen. But I mean, if they're playing the Texans this week,
yeah.
If Lamar doesn't play, that's not a great deal. Now
it's not a great deal if he doesn't play like regardless, but just yeah.
And who was in the Dak Prescott's old buddy? Cooper. That looks so fucked up to see Cooper rushing a Baltimore uniform.
That was weird. And even with that, look, I want to say this. Shador and Dion got to feel a little bit foolish if all the talks about them
my God,
on
dude.
the Ravens is true because no one learns on the bench, and then you see a situation like this happen, and it's literally this is a situation. If your son was there, your son can if he's doing what he's supposed to on the back end and playing well, he can literally be a hero for organization that loves their quarterback. And if you come in and help plug things up, calm everyone down, imagine the
Snoop Huntley went to a Pro Bowl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A Pro Bowl.
Exactly.
Never heard of it. A Pro Bowl.
Man.
Okay. And on that topic, I totally understand where Shador and Dion's coming from because like you. And I've seen players talk about this. Like you want to play but I think when you're a quarterback, sometimes you do have to take the long view and say like, hey, like, I'm not a starter. I'm a backup, at least in the beginning. What is the best situation for me? I think Baltimore probably would have been a better situation, even though we've railed on the way that they've run the offense for Lamar here for fucking 20 minutes.
That is true.
But hey, Cleveland's not great.
For the Chiefs, we do have to give Spag some love. After that opening drive, Ravens score. Kansas City allowed just 167 total yards in the next 6 Lamar Jackson drives. In that span, Chiefs forced 2 turnovers, a turnover on downs, held the Ravens to 6 points, pressured Jackson on 48.1 of his dropbacks, and had 3 sacks.
And you know what? You don't need great pass rushers to pressure Lamar Jackson. I mean, I'm not saying the Lions don't. I mean, Hutch is a great pass rusher, but they're down guys, and Shepard was able to bring pressure and manufacture it. You can manufacture pressure now on Lamar Jackson, and everybody's going to be doing it until he stops it, until they stop it. And the guy I want to shout out for the Chiefs is Leo Chenal. Leo Chenal at one point in this game, everybody's going to pay attention to the interception. That's incredible. What makes it so great is the interception, and I saw him in a shade, meaning he's in the A gap somehow in a 2-point stance, and he anchors a fucking double team and makes the tackle. I know Spags is probably in the meeting right now with his little Boston accent, fucking putting the laser on Leo Chenal. He was fantastic yesterday.
Incredible player. He's only 24 years old. He can figure out how to rush the passer.
Where did he go to college, Nolan?
Wisconsin.
Yeah, you know where he went to college?
And he definitely can rush the passer. Every guy that ever came out of Wisconsin could rush the passer. I think he might be the next.
When they weren't sitting on the bench on third down.
Yeah, well, that's the one pimple on the Eagles championship run, in my opinion. So, anyways, the last big game. Well, two more big games here: the Rams game, and then we're gonna get to the Jags because the Jags were fucking. The Jags, hey, Jags made me some money yesterday. Hey, Duval. Hey, keep my name out of your mouth, bitch.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, keep my name out of your fucking mouth, Robert. Okay, Rams. Let's talk about the Rams
Okay,
first.
we're going Rams. Don't get me too hyped, man. Whew.
I don't feel any worse about the Colts coming out of that game. I mean, like, I thought Daniel Jones put the ball in harm's way a couple times in, like, cover 2, outside the numbers, he got a little ambitious. There were times when Shula went sim pressure, meaning, it ends up being a 4-man rush, but they drop a defensive lineman. They add a linebacker. Dan Dimes looked like, he was automatic. I'm going to find my spot in the middle of the field and threw it in harm's way a couple times there. But overall, I love their game plan. They came this was watching two really good offensive minds coach.
Yep.
I mean, like the Colts came out and their number one goal was like, let's take the edges out of the game. Let's try to throw a bunch of eye candy at them. Let's get on the edge in the run game. Those guys will get a little bit nosy. Let's boot Daniel Jones out. I thought the first half was like a really nice game plan from the Colts. And then the Rams, they got one of the best quarterbacks in the league and they can run the football with the best of them. They are one of the most balanced offenses in the NFL.
Yep.
And, there's a lot of dialogue right now around, and, the Puka thing. Is Puka Nacua the best receiver in the league? Like,
yeah.
Who gives a fuck at this point? I mean, he's elite. He's in the class with those guys. Do I think he's better than Justin Jefferson? Well, if he is, it's not going to be because of the first month of the 2025 season where he's got Devontae Adams on the other side of him and Sean McVay calling the plays and Matt Stafford throwing him the football. Okay, don't show me stats and be like, well, look what Jamar Chase is doing. Look what Justin Jefferson's doing. There is context. I put him in that echelon. I fucking love Puka Nacua. He's an absolute dog. They found him yesterday early and often. They found him on Xavier Howard, which again speaks to the fact that he's a matchup nightmare. You can put him in the slot. You can put him outside. You're going to probably draw the number 2 cover guy at the very least every week because of who you got, opposite him. And he's playing his role to perfection. He's one of the best in the league. But let's not do the thing where I saw Dov Kleiman this morning was like, we need to have a conversation. He put up like Jefferson's stats and Chase's stats. I mean, it's just bottom feeder stuff. To me, appreciate the player for who the fuck he is. He is a tough ass football player that can line up anywhere on the field and get you buckets.
Chris, I'm glad you brought him up. He gets my game ball, actually. I love Puka. I've had a man crush on him ever since we interviewed him.
He's so
Vegas
cool.
In the Super Bowl. Such a cool guy. And he just loves football too. Like when he got his face cut up a couple weeks ago and like, let me pull up his stat line here. 13 receptions, 170 yards, 1 TD. Like, what a fucking baller. You know what I mean? And watching him and Stafford work together is just – it just feels good. I like
poetry in motion, Bo.
Yeah, and Kenny Moore being down
Poetry
for the Colts was a huge part of that. Like Christian mentioned, Xavier Howard, he allowed 7 receptions, over 100 yards, touchdowns, 6 first downs. 6 of those first downs, 4 were third down. 1 was on fourth down. So with Moore out of the game, McVay and Stafford, they were hunting that matchup.
And like you said, you can move him around to get the matchups you want, and that's what makes him so valuable. I mean, that to me, if you want to make a case for why he might be the best in the league, like the way you can move him around, the things you can do with him, the way he blocks.
Yep.
He's just such a stud. And I loved watching the run game. We mentioned the run game, what makes them so balanced. They do as good as anybody, a good as job as anybody, as pressing front side, making that really well-timed one cut and getting downhill. And they've got 2 really good backs where Corum got a little more of the work yesterday than usual. I don't read too much in that. I think Kyron Williams probably giving him a rest a little bit. But I thought this was just a a classic Rams offense win, like where they could do both things. They were clutch at the end of the game. And the Colts weren't clutch. The Colts were, 11 penalties or something for 1,000,000 yards.
Yeah,
And then
the offensive penalties killed them.
And everyone's hollow man, right?
Everybody's hollow man.
Like Mitchell, everyone's hollow man.
And he's got so much talent.
But look, I just want to say this. Everyone is up in arms at the Colts, and they're mad at Carly Ursay wearing the microphone and the headphones on the sideline.
Wait,
it's
she's
like,
doing what?
It's like a narrative that she's micromanaging. And yeah, if I just took over $1 billion company, yeah, I'm going to micromanage, because why 2 years in a row, why haven't they take this play out the playbook? Jonathan Taylor Jonathan Taylor did the same play last year and they still got it in the playbook.
You think it's in the playbook?
It's obvious. It obviously is. It obviously is in the playbook, because if I'm there, I want to have the headphones on to be like, why is this happening again? Like, because I just don't understand.
Look at her with her hands up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't understand. If I could just imagine if I was in that locker room, how devastating it was to lose that game last year the way they did with that play happening, that everyone in that building kind of knows about, like, hey, like, we're not going to do this anymore. Just hold on to the ball.
You think she's like, Shane, today just make sure nobody drops the ball running into the end zone and costs us, 7 points, and then that same guy, he can't hold anybody and get a 70-yard touchdown call back. I also I don't know.
No more touchback play. Okay?
Yeah, let's take that out
of
the
playbook. Take it out. Bro,
poor guy. I mean, A.D. Mitchell, I want to say poor guy because he cost him the game, and like he made a decision. It wasn't like he put his hands at his side and like dropped it. I think he was trying to reach out over the goal line, but it's just not a smart play.
It's like, why?
He didn't need to. Yeah,
he was just so excited, like, because like the play but
he's so talented.
The play in itself, and what's funny? Like, I bet you he would have wished he got tackled. You just got tackled instead of making that good move to get close to the end zone. Then none of this happened.
No, but I think he wishes they just took the play out of the playbook. And then, but we can't talk about the Rams without talking about Jared Verse yesterday. I mean, like he's not like, I don't know that he's gonna be like a max. Well, he's pretty disruptive. I don't want to put him in that echelon, but the fucking amount of flatbacks that he has on his career already, like he leads the league in flatbacks. I mean, and he is disruptive. Like, he's got 2 sacks this season. There's a bunch of guys with 4 or 4.5 or whatever. Since he started his career, he might have 6 or 7 sacks. But when you watch him play, it's the disruptions, it's the pressures. And even if he doesn't pressure the quarterback, there's something about running a guy the fuck over, like lining him up like middle hole and being like, hey, take a running start and run over that center. Like, that's going to stick in that center's head the rest of the game. And he also made a huge play, basically calling game on a strip sack at the end of the game. He's fun to watch, man. He's the rare, pure brute strength edge guy. Like, there's just not a lot of those anymore. I don't know why he's so fucking strong, but he has like a differentiating strength. Like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and
somebody needs to study him.
There's a force multiplier effect there. League leader in sacks through 4 weeks. Will tie for the league lead is Byron Young.
Byron Young's a beast, though.
Yep.
Because some people attribute it all to Jared Verse. I just think it's because he's on a good defensive line.
Yep.
Fisk, the whole gang, Turner, like they really can play, and Verse is a big part of that.
Some great team rushers yesterday.
Yeah, and we have to mention Tyler Warren. As the Colts go down the road, it's going to be nice to have a guy like that in the red zone and out in the field. Just a total stud. So Rams win. It was kind of as advertised.
Yeah.
A lot of drama in that game.
Thank you, Rams. Thank you, Rams. You know why?
Oh, because the Jags.
Duval!
Nate's at full throat right now.
Pause.
Pause.
No, the Jags look good, man. That was good. And the thing we said coming into the game is, as much as I like Robert Saleh and as good as the young players are playing, and the Niners deserve a lot of credit.
Mm-hmm.
But they just weren't going to win this game because they weren't going to be able to pressure Trevor Lawrence. I mean, it was like 7-on-7 for him out there. It looked like it, at least. I
7 total pressures.
That's just not enough.
It's not enough, but believe it or not, it kind of was enough because Trevor didn't play well. Like, this game was won because of our defense. We lead the lead in takeaways. We've had at least 3 takeaways a game, which is nuts.
Yeah.
In every single game. This past one we had 4.
Yeah.
But the fact that Trevor Lawrence is getting 3 to 4 extra possessions in a game, like, you have to find a way to win. You have to find a way to put up points. I feel like it just is. It's indicative how well Jacksonville is playing right now because they're winning ugly games, and the offense, they're not on the same page.
I thought he played fine from what I saw. I didn't get through the whole game this morning because every fucking team played yesterday.
Got to convert on third downs.
Third downs not as good.
Robert Saleh, they had it dialed up. We were not converting on. I think we converted like 1 third down in like when it counted, like at the end of the game, and it was big. But every other time it was 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out.
4 for 14 on the day.
4 for 14 on third downs on the day. You can
and still win the ball game.
And you still win the ball game.
Because your defense is taking the ball
and
away.
Your special teams, you get an 87-yard touchdown from Parker Washington on a punt return. First time in 8 years in the franchise history they have a punt return touchdown that long. That's amazing. Our defense, Devin Lloyd as a linebacker, you might not know him if you're not a Jacksonville fan. Hey,
that 0 looks good on him.
Get familiar. The kid wearing 0 in the teal, running from sideline to sideline,
chasing the bag this year,
bruh. Like, I love it. And there's just their defense as a whole. They're swarming. They're making tackles. You see a lot of guys in the frame. When it's the end of the play. But I'm ecstatic about the Jaguars, and for someone who played defense, to see that they're getting this many takeaways a game is electric, and that's something like it's contagious. It's contagious to be on the defense, to being like, I want to be the next guy to force the fumble, or I want to be the next guy to get the interception, or I want to do this. And you're seeing that in real time. Eric Armstead playing against his old team, having the key play of getting that strip sack after kind of bailing out the kicker, missing a field goal that would kind of clinch the game, or the game is a lot less obtainable than it would have been. And then you come right back after that missed field goal and you make a sack like that to potentially clinch the game against your old team. Has to feel
they look. Cohen's a good coach.
Very good.
He's a good coach. That's the one thing I can tell off the bat watching this team play. Their offense just looks faster. I know they have some new pieces and everything, but the operation, Bo, like when you watch the run game, that was something Trevor Lawrence never had to this point, and the offensive line's never been a great protecting unit, and all of a sudden, like, no matter what metric you look at, like, they're playing well up front.
And shout out to Travis Etienne, because he was all but dead, not dead, but like last year everyone was kind of like, is he done?
Yeah.
Like trade rumors.
Yeah. He the main guy.
Yeah.
And then who did the Eagles just
Tank
get?
Bigsby.
And then we hear that.
You got Tootin.
Yep, exactly. You got rid of Tank and you have Tootin, but Etienne is the one.
He's balling.
And he's balling out of control. I'm just happy for him. And he's our offense right now. Him, Tootin's running hard, and we have to keep getting those guys going so that we can stay in the winning column.
And the little guys block. Yeah. I saw Shedeur Sanders, or not Shedeur Sanders, his teammate Travis Hunter blocking his ass off yesterday.
All the receivers
blocking it. Shedeur Sanders didn't want to block yesterday. Yeah. Travis Hunter was blocking his ass off early in that game. And the same thing they've gotten a lot out of Strange, the tight end.
Oh,
I mean, they've elevated him.
That's his security blanket.
I think that Kansas City, they can beat Kansas City at home. But Trevor's got to play well.
Absolutely.
If Trevor doesn't play well, right?
Spags, Trevor, like I'm worried about him throwing 2 picks into Spags' defense.
Traps.
Like,
but look, even with 2 picks, with the way we're going, that's still us up +1 in the turnover category. That's why.
If Trevor Lawrence throws
those 2 picks, they're going to lose.
By at least 2 scores.
Maybe.
But if he doesn't throw any picks and he plays like I don't know what I can compare him to.
But if you go with trajectory of where this season's going, we're the ones that's getting the picks.
Yeah.
We lead the league in takeaways.
Yeah, they come in
It's
bunches.
us.
They come in
It's
bunches.
us.
But you know what people are gonna say? Like some of these numbers nerds,
Yeah.
and they kind of got a point that like there's like a luck index, and like you are creating some of these turnovers, no question. But like eventually,
But hey, we love the luck. Hey, the luck moves every year. It's bouncing from
No,
team
I know.
to team.
Just it's got to stay with y'all all
This
year.
is their
Heck,
year.
And you got to make your own luck, which they're doing right now.
I love it.
Shout out to the,
Duval.
shout out to the Paisan, Anthony Campanile.
He's doing a great
defensive
job.
Coordinator. Boy's taking the ball away.
And shout out to Eric Armstead, cut by the 49ers, and then he makes the game-sealing play.
That's
Gotta
awesome.
feel good. And hey, Salah,
ahead.
back up off Cohen. Like, chill out, bro.
Oh.
Like, you know you were dry
Let him
snitching.
fight. I
Bro,
want to see it.
right?
Let him go.
Bro, you know you were
That'd be
dry. You
all
know you were
fine
dry
ball, right?
snitching and being a little cute in the media. Don't act surprised when someone steps up to you like a man and be like, "What do you mean we have a legal cheating system?" Like, you can't just.
But
say
that's not
something
stepping
like
up
that.
like a man, in my opinion.
It is. But like, bro,
No. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Why are you putting credibility on my coach in
okay.
the public?
Couple things.
And then don't expect me to say chirp at you
couple
after
things.
the game.
Couple things. I don't think, and I have no problem with him like confronting Salah or something. I don't think Salah, what he charged him with was like an illegal activity. It wasn't like he accused him of being
Every team
spying.
does
No, absolutely not. But
It was kind of like a
didn't have-
backhanded compliment.
it is, but it's also cutesy in a way that for everyone notice, because I kind of want to know, like, what the fuck do you mean by that? Like legal.
I'll tell you.
He
I'll
knows.
tell you.
sign-
I think he
Here's what you're
knows.
talking about.
Nolan, you can tell.
Anytime you see motion, you see shift, you see any kind of change in the formation, watch the secondary. They're going to give any kind of
so you're
signal
just
like this, where they're dictating the coverage.
Yeah.
So every team they're studying broadcast copy tape, see if they get a look at that. Maybe they can hear the audio of what they're calling.
Mm-hmm.
Every team does this. And Salah, he even shouted out, like, I think he shouted out Shanahan, he shouted out McVay, he shouted out Kevin O'Connell, saying like all these guys do it really well, and Liam does it really well too. I think it was a compliment.
I do too, and that's my thing is like I'm just such a Salah fan as a person. Like to me, my radar for like a dickhead doesn't even start to go off when I've watched Salah like operate, and he's been in some shitty situations.
Totally.
So admittedly for me, and I like Liam Cohen, I think he's a great ball coach. You can tell right away, and it's probably a calculated risk where you're like, my players are going to like this and that sort of thing. But to me, it seemed a little bit like the nature of it. Like, keep my name out of your fucking mouth, bro. Like, you know where the locker room is.
Yeah.
If you want to have that conversation, go have it outside the locker room.
Who for
In
Cohen?
front of all the media
But like,
cameras
but
you know
that's
are
not
gonna be
how.
there.
But that's not how Salah like presented the situation. He's the one that put it in the media. He's the one that
I
made
know,
it
but
public.
you might
so-
be mischaracter.
Publicly complimenting him.
No, yeah, I hear you, but I don't.
It'd
think,
be like, hey man, like if the Rams, like one of the years where we had a bunch of sacks, if somebody was like, man, they're getting off the ball, I think they're looking at the play clock. I think they're looking at, I think they're studying the TV copy for cadence. I think that they're getting run pass keys. Well, I'd be like, thank you very much. Yeah, we're not all that dumb, are we?
Yeah.
And I understand, like, I'm not a coach, so I don't understand what it feels like to be accused of something like that, even if it was in a way of like, kind of a compliment.
Because I was gonna say, when I heard it say, I was like, all Robert Saleh is saying, even if it was trying to be a dig at our coaches, you're just saying that we have good coaches, that we have coaches that are going above and beyond legally to gain an edge for our guys to win and be successful.
Hey, 30% of the chat smokes crack cocaine.
Well, and that's
yeah.
what I was going to say.
Right.
Like, why?
The
if you're
poll
Liam
poll
Cohen-
is who wins in a fight, Robert Saleh or Liam Cohen. 70% at my time of voting. I vote in my own
Wait,
poll.
they say who?
Saleh.
Well, 30% said Cohen.
Oh, would win in a fight.
Yeah, that's wild. That's a wild, bro.
Oh, you think it's 100-0 that there's no
Saleh? Saleh's a dog, dude. Like Saleh's a tough
I think,
motherfucker.
And that's why
Cohen could pick any member of his staff to fight with him and Saleh's.
Somebody needs to volunteer as tribute.
Well, and
Well,
that's
here's-
why Cohen said it on the field, because if he says it behind closed doors, like, it's not going to matter. You're going to want it on the field because
hold
you
me
can't.
back.
Like, Saleh can't fight back.
You
Yeah.
got people to hold you back.
Yeah, exactly.
It's smart. That's he's smart.
I mean, Cohen is from Warwick, Rhode Island.
yeah. War, it get crazy out there.
Yeah, it does.
Andy was roommates with Victor Cruz, like in college. So
Cohen?
Yeah.
Oh, well, ask Victor Cruz if he thinks Cohen could beat up Robert Saleh. and I don't want it to go there because like we don't need to fight about everything.
No,
like
it's not.
And also I want to say this. I like Liam Cohen. I just think it was like,
bro, I'm on here. I like Robert Saleh.
But did Saleh really say Nick Wagner, who's usually like straight up on the ball. He was my NFC West guy. Now he's like San Francisco's dude. But like I saw a tweet where it had the quote from Cohen, and then after it had like a quote presumably from Robert Saleh that said like I'll fucking end you, bro. Like you be careful what you have. Like I will end you.
He said, who said that? Saleh? Or
I'm paraphrasing, but it was like that was the alleged quote from Saleh.
The quote is, "I'll fuck your world up. You don't want to fuck with me. I'll fucking end your fucking life." It's allegedly the quote. We'll get it up on the board here.
I love it.
Yeah, but
I feel like there's just two passionate coaches, and you know what? In a perfect world, Robert Saleh, come work for Liam Cohen. Get that his offensive mind with your defensive mind. Y'all could go.
But if you're gonna be saying all that, it's just like two DBs like punching each other in the helmet. Like go in the concourse and talk about it.
Absolutely.
Like one time a guy
couldn't hear the audio.
Practice.
Like you couldn't hear it on the audio on this clip, but that's what the quote says. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good time to get at somebody, and it's not usually like.
I don't think you want to fight anybody who says that.
Yeah.
Like that's.
I'll fuck your world up. You don't want to fuck with me, I will fucking end your fucking life.
End your life is just like, oh, I'm good. You hear end your life, you're like, yep, heard.
All right, have a great day.
That looks like my DM.
I'm not that guy, pal.
I get some crazy threats.
Oh, I can imagine.
You know?
I can imagine. The way,
Yeah. So, anyways.
The way you be talking about the Lions.
Yeah, the way I talk about the Lions. That's what it is. Oh, are the Lions up soon? I can't wait to talk about my Lions. So that's Jags getting the win. Good for them. It's time for ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the flyovers. 26-0. Texans get the win. Gotta be honest, only was able to skim this game, but I did see that Cam Ward has the fortitude to admit that they are ass.
Yeah.
In the post-game press conference. And our guy
kept it a buck.
He kept it a buck.
Kept it a buck.
And Coach Callahan, who seemed awesome when I interviewed him, like evidently they tell me his job's in danger.
He's 3-18 over the last 2 seasons. 3-18.
That's not good.
Not good.
But for the Texans, good job getting on the winning on the winning path here. I mean, fuck. And the weirdest trade in the world is like they're like, you know what? We have the worst offensive line in the league. We're gonna trade one of our tackles. And the buyer is Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Like you're like Cleveland. What are you doing over there? Like Andrew, what you? Hello, Andrew Barry.
You
what the
want
fuck
to
do
play?
You guys want?
Yeah.
Like, what do you want? You want a tackle? Sure. I was kind of enthralled with the Nico Collins and L'Jarius Sneed, like little light trash talk we had leading up to the game where L'Jarius Sneed was like, "Who?" And the reporters really missed an opportunity there.
Mike Jones.
No, D's. And then Nico Collins goes for like 75 yards on 4 catches, and after the game, Nico Collins' commentary was the most unwide receiver like commentary I've ever heard. He was like, because it was his chance to take a victory lap, and they were like, what do you have to say about L'Jarius Sneed? Asking who, something to that effect, and he was like, oh, no big deal. Like, I got a lot of respect for him. It was a good game. Like, that doesn't sound like a wide receiver at all to me.
No, not when we're used to seeing crash outs.
Yeah, go ahead and play that interview.
This is from before the game. Nico said, "I'm a dog. I don't say much. I just play. You can talk all you want. Line that shit up."
Yeah, but that's not the one.
Yeah.
So anyways, trust me, after the game, he was super chill about it. But yeah, Cam Ward is in crisis, and I think this is a good time to remind people that have compared Cam Ward to Mahomes that Mahomes got to sit to start his career. And at some point, I'm not saying you have to sit him down because of performance. I'm saying, like, it is a burning building. Like, he almost got decapitated yesterday by Azeez Al-Shaair, and they didn't even throw a flag, by the way. So I guess he hasn't earned that privilege yet. But I think for everybody, and I do see Mahomes' like vision from this kid, like where he sees the field a little bit different. But Mahomes never had to deal with this shit. This is just not going to be good for the quarterback's development.
Cam Ward meet Joe Brady.
Is that it for this game? Jeez, I thought some guys was just a fucking game. Okay. I'll just go fuck myself.
No. Reverse the plane.
Oh.
Jeffrey Simmons.
Oh,
we didn't talk about that.
Oh, great. Cool.
2.09 seconds fastest sack lead wide over the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, that was something else. I mean, I think maybe there was a bust there.
I think there was a tweet going viral with this clip, and it was just like, yeah, C.J. Stroud's offensive linemen hate him. Because if you watch how quick he gets this sack, it's just like, bro.
They might all just be really big Astros fans.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, you can't wear that hat, man. All right, so I guess y'all got nothing else on that game? Thank God I talked too much. All right, what's the next game?
Falcons Commies.
Nolan, you want to take this one, buddy?
Penix.
Yep. So this week last week we talked about it being a tough day at the office for Penix, and you just wanted to see them take a step forward. And man, I love this tape from Penix. I thought it was an overall just a heightened sense of command. He was decisive. Just looked like a different dude from last week in terms of the timing, anticipation. I was talking on Friday about wanting to see him be more like Jared Goff in the passing game in terms of being able to work the middle of the field. And you definitely saw shades of that. And it really opened up some of the outside the numbers stuff too that they cashed in on. Everybody saw the highlight of the London catch, then the Bijan big play in the passing game as well. That was actually a play they came back to. They tried that early on. It was one of the first third downs of the game. It was a mesh concept with a rail route. The first one, Bijan was the third receiver in a bunch, and Penix just got to it late, couldn't get the ball there in time. So credit to the coaching staff. They circled that one. They came back to it in a key spot, and they just changed the formation a little bit. Bijan released from pistol formation, and Penix hit him in stride for a big gain.
Did we see any less pistol?
Still a lot of pistol.
They love that pistol. But I got through one series before we kind of ran out of time, and I saw him rip the seam, and it was like, oh, he looks immediately more confident than he did for whatever reason the week before.
And look, like when you talk about QBs and talk about evaluating QBs, it's commonly said, the evaluation starts after they throw a pick, kind of see how they respond. And I think that logic can extend on a game-to-game basis where if they turn in a bad performance, how do they respond the next week? And whatever you see from them on the field that following week, it's a reflection of the work they put in during the week. So he did a hell of a job. The offense, just a great bounce-back performance for them.
And how about him responding after Raheem Morris's comment? He said after last week's game, Kirk lost his job. We're nowhere near that with Michael, but there was still some pressure, right? And then after yesterday's game, Raheem Morris said right after he didn't hesitate when asked when he saw something that confirmed his belief in Michael Penix Jr. after last week's loss to Carolina Monday when he came to work. I believed in him that day. Right after the loss, he came right back to work and was ready to go.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we love the intangibles about this dude. We think that's one of his best qualities, that and like a RPG on his shoulder. I mean, he really does.
Live arm.
He's got a fucking live arm. He throws the ball like 100 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can go from Herbert tape to Penix tape, and you're like, whoa, Penix throws the ball harder.
Yeah, totally.
Which is not always a good thing, but
right.
but he puts some mustard on it. Anything else from this?
Got to mention from this game, boy,
Good deal.
if I may interject.
Yeah.
There's something about the Falcons Skycam, like 4K Skycam, that is so sick. Did you guys see that overhead view of that run from Bijan Robinson that they put out on social media? It's my Bevel Conway of the day. It's such a cool clip. Like,
shout out to our guy Austin.
Feels like I think
our guy Austin we met down there is the guy who operates that. Does a hell of a job.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, you just feel like, in like Mario Kart when they have the little guy on the camera and that's who's following you around when you're playing. That's kind of what you feel like when you're watching that HD clip of Bijan Robinson. That was a cool clip. Go check that out if you haven't seen it.
My anti-Bevel Conway is this game, period. These two uniforms, like, combined on this field was hideous. I did run out of time watching the all 22 of this game, but I'm not sorry that I did, because it was a tough watch. Gave me glaucoma. I watched one series of this fucking game. It gave me glaucoma. So yeah, anti-Bevel Conway is going to be this game. I don't mean to make light of glaucoma for the people out there.
Glaucoma.
What do you say?
You got the left-handed cigarettes for the glaucoma.
That's exactly right. Because I had to medicate immediately. Oh fuck! Look at those uniforms. It is almost that time, dude. Before we know it, it's going to be Monday Night Football.
Yeah, really.
Is that not crazy?
Yeah.
It's like
Double dose.
We're getting a football washing machine.
Yeah.
Okay, a few more of these flyovers. Oh, the Lions, man. I want to talk about the Lions.
In one game, because Bills Saints. Or
You just want to go Lions?
Oh, you guys have a different order. That's fine. Go ahead. Bills Saints. Y'all better have something to say about this fucking game.
Spencer Rattler. Almost. You're almost there, guy. Like, I don't know what to say. The kid, he plays hard.
It's just a classic Bills home game where they're laying a bunch of points. I told you about this. Now I think it's 8-3 in the last 3 years when the Bills are playing a team at home that they're laying like 6 or more points. Like, the dog covers. I mean, just they sleepwalk through these spots. And I think at one point in the game, it's a 1-score game late in the deal, and they got to go on a 4-play drive. It's like the Bills are just like, you know what? It's getting a little late. Time to put Spencer Rattler to bed. Let's put this out of reach.
But to say Spencer, he's getting them in the right territory. He's getting them down the field. They're in the red zone a lot. But Buffalo's defense limited the Saints to 19 points, despite New Orleans' first 9 drives ending in Bills territory. So all that means is they got to have some extra red zone practices. They got to get some new red zone plays. You guys got to find a way to score some points. I mean, Spencer, like, he's doing all right. Like, that means you're doing all right. If you
I know,
get the
but
ball,
ultimately this is a Saints win. Nobody realizes they're tanking. We're all like just heaping compliments on the quarterback who in a year they're going to be like, sorry, here's Arch Manning or whoever the fuck, and Spencer Rattler is going to go start for somebody else at some point. I think I'm pretty impressed with I mean, for a guy that like you have no expectations about. No, seriously, because that's what a lot of this league is with quarterbacks, is like it depends on what they plan on you being.
Yeah,
like if they plan on you being the guy, they're gonna bust their ass to get players, or they're gonna burn the whole situation down like they've done with CJ Stroud the last 2 years, or they played, you get the Sam Darnold New York chapter where, but I do think for the most part you're gonna get a better outcome if you're the guy, and he's not the guy, but he can play himself into the conversation.
Yeah, why not?
I don't want to disrespect Spencer Rattler. Oh, do I get to talk about the Lions? Penei Sewell in the run game yesterday was fantastic.
Only 16 total pressures from the Browns D-line. That's pretty impressive for that group.
There was a moment where Hutch went down, and I thought he was dead. I was like, oh, my God, he hurt himself again. And, like, my life flashed before my eyes as a rusher, and I'm just like, oh, my God, his career's over. And it ended up being like he got the wind knocked out of him. There were dudes in Hutchinson jerseys like crying in the stands. It really looked bad for a second, didn't it, on TV? Did y'all see this?
Yeah. But
it was nuts.
If you've never gotten the wind knocked out of you,
no, I have.
That's how it feels for a good 5 to 7 seconds. Like you might die until you gasp and get that breath of air. Yeah, that's how it literally feels.
Rashad Jennings, 2003 state championship. He went on to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
He was a 250-pound running back.
My Jags teammate.
Yeah, I ran.
Chris, he showed me that video.
Did I show you that video? Mm-hmm. He cleaned my shit out.
I was with him at the NFL media boot camp this week, and he's like, what do you do? I was like, oh, we're Green Light Pod with Chris Song. He's like, oh, I played against him in high school. He's like, I got to show you something.
He had the video in his back pocket?
That's so great.
Kyle was there, too. So Kyle was like, this fucking guy, we were at lunch. He's like, this guy lit him up so bad. He was like being all cool about it. And then Kyle was like, you got to show him. So like, I think it was actually Kyle that looked up the video.
No, it was sick. It was totally sick hit. It was totally legal. And I was sprinting after a play and never saw that. I didn't get the license plate on that dude. And LCA had some fucking good ball players. They had a couple guys going to college, but it was like me and Rashad Jennings, and we ended up winning the game, and we kicked their fucking ass. Like, we got after him, but it was the fourth quarter, and I'm running after a play, and he just decleats me on our sideline. And I just remember being like, and like I look over to the side, and like, and because my dad used to like hang out in the back of the sideline because he didn't want to like draw attention, but he was like back there. And I like rolled over and I like saw him, and he's just like looking at me like, get up.
Like, get up.
And I was like, and so, you know, I come in the next play and I'm like, I'm going to fucking kill you, Rashad. And he's like, chill out, bro. So anyways, I don't know what the fuck, you know, Morton's calling that play where, you know, on that long Gibbs run where I don't even know what to call that motion where St. Brown comes in and kind of fishhook motions around Goff, who's in the gun. Yeah. And then they hand it off to I guess it was Gibbs. They hand it off to Gibbs, and then they've got a pump off of it. It was devious, man. So, you know, just really good stuff from the Lions against a team that we said the interior defensive line has been playing their ass off. The edges are hell to deal with. I love watching Delpit out there battling with like guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's just a fun matchup. Unfortunately for Cleveland, they don't have an offense, so they can't win games like this. Mm-hmm. But they can at least make things interesting for about half of the day. But they did trade for a tackle, though, so things should change.
I'm sorry to say this, but they got to get Flacco the fuck out of there. Like, Flacco's not cutting it. He has 2 touchdowns this season, 6 interceptions, and he's been sacked 9 times. Like, the one
9 times?
Bro, they haven't scored more than 17 points. The one game that they won, they scored 13 points.
Yeah.
It's just like, yo, like, give the young guy, like, let him start a game.
I'd love to see Shedeur Sanders play. Love to. So everybody can
let Gabriel start.
Either of them.
That's what I'm saying. Let him start and like
I feel
let
like
them
Tua
fail
right
and play bad at least so we can know on the outside that
they will fail.
Yeah, like that
they will fail. They're not set up to win there. And that's the point is like, you know, if you're trying to develop a young quarterback, like the thing we're talking about with Cam Ward, okay, let's throw Dylan Gabriel in, who they might have aspirations of playing. You know, like everybody and their uncle is begging for Shedeur to play. Like they're going to see some result that's any different than the preseason. Yeah. It's going to be a bloodbath. And that doesn't mean I don't think either of those guys can play. It's just like, bro, this is a fucked up situation. They just traded for a Houston Texan tackle.
But it's a must-see look.
That's a public declaration.
But it's a must-see TV bloodbath. Everyone's tuned in for that bloodbath.
Yeah, Roger's like, hey, Stefanski, I'm going to get you fired unless you put Shedeur in the game because we need a little ratings hike.
We need it.
In the next Browns game. So
we need it.
Okay. And the only
shout out to Judkins. He is playing well.
He's a dog
for their offense. He's the only bright spot. He is a dog.
All their young guys are playing well.
Dogs they're playing really well, and that's like it's sad.
I'm sorry. Fuck. We need to move on. We're talking about the Browns too much in the Lions breakdown.
We are.
You know what?
That is sad though for a young guy to be playing hard, but just to be in a historic system that maybe isn't run the right way, or if you're like social media person, you're just like, damn, they're shitting on us every fucking week. Like, do I want to be here?
I know somebody that played on a team like this as a young player. I can tell you, it is not fun. It affects the outcomes
for sure
for every player on the field. It is. I mean, but the good thing is when their rookies play well in this scenario, and being on defense with Cleveland's a little bit different now, which is also nice because Jim Schwartz keeps things so fucking simple.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one good thing about it, where it's like these guys are going to play fast. Now, being on the Cleveland offense, as much as I like the OC, not very good. Okay, so the last game we have, is this the last game? Yeah, no, we got two more. Bo, what'd you see in the Pats game, bro?
Chris, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Panthers are ass.
Nice.
There's a lot I saw in this game. It's a good win for the Patriots. I think the big storyline out of this is just Drake May looks very comfortable, all right? Especially on third down. Let me read you some stats about Drake May on third down. Drake May on third down to the open the season, 125.5 pass rating is first, 80.6% completion rate is first, 9.6 yards per attempt second, 45.2% first down rate is eighth. Basically, he looked comfortable. He looked good. Bryce Young, I'm personally not a huge fan of. He actually had a pretty good opening series. I think it was probably their scripted stuff that they had offensively. He looked to be pretty dialed. But then my STL Memorial Award winner is actually Marcus Jones. He had an 87-yard punt return for a touchdown, and that happened pretty early in that game. And after that, it felt like the Panthers were just not even really fighting for it. And the Patriots really, they just looked like, their offense looked good. I like what they're doing offensively. A lot of safe stuff for Drake May. Sometimes I worry about the fact that they don't have a ton of weapons offensively, but they're distributing the ball well. Also, like, pretty committed to their run game, but just like running their offense, and he looked comfortable in it. And I think that's kind of the main takeaway from this. Like, Drake May look good throws to Diggs, got Diggs very involved. He had 6 receptions for 101 yards with a 33-yard long. He's actually going to get my best seat because it's a pretty good game for him. And also he knocked up Cardi B, which I think is cool.
And apparently
that was sweet.
And with Cardi B, he is a best seat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's fun.
Cowboy,
I like that. Cardi B.
Cowboy had that call on the script, and he waited until like the fourth quarter.
Sir, I like that. Good pull.
Damn, dude, that is incredible.
People I think.
Go ahead.
Just to wrap up this summary, Chris, Drake May is looking pretty good. Stevenson, he didn't fumble, which is good. Bounced back a little bit, but I just think they look pretty complete offensively. Drake May looks comfortable, and Pat's got a big win at home. So that's pretty much all I have for that. And the Panthers are ass.
Hey, this just in. People are looking back at AJ Brown's post on Instagram after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I tried to feel how everyone made it seem to be a champion, and unfortunately it was short-lived. 2 days to be exact, LOL. I thought my hard work would be justified by winning it all. It wasn't. My throw for this game comes from when I dominate. It's the hunt that does it for me. It's when the DB drops his head and surrender because he can't F with me. Did I miss this novella?
No,
I think it was a tweet and delete.
No. It stayed up. We talked about it. It was because it was like midweek after the Super Bowl.
The intense battles, early mornings, late nights, sacrifice. I love putting smiles on people's faces. Don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't what I thought it would be. It's the journey that I love the most. Back to work. He's saying the same thing Jalen Hurts said after the game, which is that, like, I don't feel any different. I want more.
No.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
AJ Brown, he's a little selfish. I hear what you're saying.
But here's the thing about selfish, because like, there are some guys that they just want to make plays. It's not that they want to be the ones to make plays. It's like, if I'm not out here dominating, then what the fuck am I doing?
No, absolutely.
And so, like, for him, I would assume that there's a lot of that where it's like,
that's a little
you take personal pride
when it's a team game.
No question.
That's like a little, but
we are all selfish.
Yeah, but to be outwardly, that's something that you got to do in quiet because your team is winning. Y'all are defending champs. It's just like, you have to know that even if you really feel this way,
they didn't complete a pass in the second half. This is if there's a time to do it, the time is now.
But not after a win. Like, I hear you, because that's what everyone's gonna say.
Fans should all quiet down after a win. They shouldn't complain about anything. Then everybody should just fucking, we're the best team in the history of sports. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I hear you. No, you're supposed to.
Because I don't want to tear down AJ and say he's selfish when I have never seen him really do anything to me. Like, and I honestly haven't heard, because I know guys on the team and I know people in the organization, and nobody's ever said, like, AJ Brown's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like,
but seeing that,
I've heard words like misunderstood.
Seeing him tweet and put stuff out, knowing the type of reaction you're maybe going to get, and
he got a little emotional.
Yeah, and the type of distraction it brings for the next week or the next coming weeks, or any time you don't have 100-yard reception game, it's going to be asked, or there's going to be some reporter being like, "Oh, I'm gonna get this story," like, and ask a question that might trigger you. I just feel like you're setting yourself up for not good takes.
I hear you. I hear you. more discussing like what, not the tweet, but like what's in the tweet what's in the Instagram post that everybody's like, well, what a selfish dude. You know, like, well, not necessarily. The timing of yesterday's tweet was inherently a little bit selfish, right? Because you're like, hey, we won the game, but look at
me.
Well, he's not saying all that. He's got emotional because this means the world to the cat, and the guys, like everybody else out there,
we could do better.
He can do better.
Yeah.
And he's being held hostage right now.
Hey.
In that offense. Which I totally get. Like,
get the trade package ready.
Shit. I don't know about that.
It's not going anywhere.
No. Don't even get that rumor started.
Oh man.
No.
I know, but you know, my whole thing is if people are gonna say like, hey, fucking put a smile on your face, then those same people can't be in public forums discussing the Eagles' shortcomings.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's just got to be perfect then. And I understand.
And look,
and this is equivalence.
And this is why I say
an AJ tweet and a fan tweet.
But look, this is why I say this.
Yeah.
Because not saying that he's better or whatever, but his production, Devontae Smith, you have a wide receiver that like we don't hear any of this stuff from. Like we don't hear this type of stuff. He's not the same. He might not be as good, but he's a great player, and like realistically, he can be out there and he could be saying this stuff, and a lot of people be like, "Well, I feel him because he's good, like
Bro,
he's really good."
Absolutely, but absolutely, and I've told you this before. Like when Waylon watches games, when my son's Waylon Luke watch games,
model citizen.
I say, "Hey, you know that dude right there, Devontae Smith? That's a guy you should play football like. I know you're not going to play wide receiver in the NFL, not to kill your dream." But let's say you're playing in the NFL one day.
And that's why I say that, like, on both sides. When you have both of that on your team, or you can look at this guy and look at this guy, how they're –
there's a better way
how
to
they're
go about it,
reacting.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But you like the Liam Cohen outburst, though. That's a little selfish.
No, I told you. Like I said, you can't be mad at Liam when he didn't start it. Like you can't tell me how to respond.
Yeah, but Patullo started it with AJ Brown.
If you light the fire.
What did AJ Brown do to Patullo? So the last thing is that this is the Raiders, man.
This is bittersweet for me.
I'm looking forward to getting in this game because it sounded like Caleb played pretty well. Yeah? Everybody's looking at me. How'd Caleb play, fellas?
I have not seen the tape.
Nobody's seen. That's why it's a flyover. We haven't gotten there. Thank you, fellas. So we'll just skip over that. I will say
the Bears blocked the kick to win a game.
The Bears blocked the kick to win a game. That's been happening left and right in the NFL. Special teams.
But the Bears are never on this side of a nail biter in a long time.
No, things feel. I mean, people are willing things to feel different in Chicago. I'll put it that way. People are willing things to feel different. I do think, as I've said for probably 6 months now, I think you have the guy, but there are going to be growing pains. He looks more confident. Everybody looks happier. Ben Johnson looks like a psychopath coming out of the half. Who had crazier energy, Liam Cohen post game or Ben Johnson at the half? Roma Dunze has been a fucking stud. I just know I know that. And for the Raiders, man, like they're in position to win this football game. Like and as bad as the offensive line is, Colton Miller's out with a high ankle sprain now, so it's only going to get worse. Ashton Genty was going off
three
yesterday.
tutties with a terrible O-line.
So I'm looking forward to see Caleb's tape because a couple weeks ago I was told after the Detroit game, no, he looked like shit in the Detroit game. And then the week before it was like, or the week after that, it was some other thing. And what is it going to be this week? I just know my brother Kyle Long is going to have a big victory lap planned for this week. And I hope you don't end up on one of his receipts that he's pulling. Because the Bears are a wagon right now. A wagon.
Kevin Byard, safety Kevin Byard, 2 picks. Picked Geno Smith twice. Great play.
Bro, that leads me to my STL Memorial Award.
Look at that.
My second one of the day. This goes out to Al Harris, my old teammate. He is the defensive passing game coordinator there. And, you know, with all the guys that they've been missing, you know, Kyler, Jalen, I think they lost another corner. and that's all happened in the first month of the season. I think the last 2 games they forced six turnovers, the secondary, something like that. I mean, they've been all over it. So, and Byard was awesome yesterday, turning back the hands of time. I just think Al Harris deserves a big shout out. I'm sorry to say, I forget who shouted him out on Twitter, but it's very appropriate. My old teammate Al Harris, fantastic dude, fantastic, and he was in Dallas when Dallas was coming up with all those picks. So maybe at some point here, Al Harris will get his shot. Because he's an awesome dude. He was a great player. He seems like he's just as good a coach. So shout out to Al Harris. With a depleted secondary, turning the ball over with regularity.
8 turnovers the last 2 games.
It's been awesome.
Big time.
So, all right. Well, I guess I forgot to give out a couple awards. I'm going to give my worst flight to the Packers because flying home after a tie. And it was funny. Tarico was like, well, if you win this game, you get out of here, you go home, you party. I'm like, no, they don't. It's going to be 7 in the fucking morning, dude. Mm-hmm. They probably landed so early this morning, and Love and LaFleur probably were talking about clock management in first class for quite a while. I bet Love had to go up there and fucking sit there with the iPad and talk to LaFleur about what the fuck almost happened at the end of the game. Best flight, give me the Bears, man. West Coast trips are fun. And when you win on the West Coast, it's even more fun. And any flight out of Vegas is the best flight in the world.
I agree.
No doubt.
I agree. Best seat. The marketers and the people selling smelling salts. Because they took a big hit last year when the NFL announced that they were banning the teams from providing it to players. And then you see someone like Aaron Rodgers rip a smelling salt before throwing an 80-yard touchdown, and then there was a kicker maybe on Thursday night who ripped the smelling salt right before hitting the game winner.
Jason Myers.
So that's just beautiful, like just marketing for them that they don't have to pay for, or because I could just imagine if you're someone who had one of those accounts. Like, how much money you probably lost, like, with the NFL just banning it?
Well, I don't know, but, like, it is a situation where nobody ever thought about smelling salts until they banned it. And now, like, when you see it on TV, you're like, damn, that dude's got some contraband in this motherfucker. And there's kids out there that are, like, seeing Rodgers rip a slant after he's like, you can have kids going to school with smelling salts. It's actually a bad deal.
The ammonia?
It's a bad deal, dude.
Man. There's still best seat for the marketers.
Best seat for the marketers. Who stands to make money off smelling salts? Okay, BetMGM. We got to shout them out one more time.
Oh.
This football season, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at first touchdown scorers. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. Be sure to take advantage of this offer, and if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code GREENLIGHT, and you will get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. BetMGM, make it legendary.
$250 to $1,000, baby.
That's crazy.
BetMGM.
So we've got a couple phone line, a couple voicemails from the people. Thanks again for dialing us up.
Oh yeah, thanks a mil.
But yeah, first one we got a little report from Ireland.
Yo, fellas, Franny Walsh, Philadelphia, reporting live from Dublin, Ireland. Just boots on the ground here for the Green Light podcast. Just had to send some thoughts real quick before I get whacked out for the first Bucs game here. Real quick, dude. I mean, the game was absolutely sensational. What a freaking awesome atmosphere. So much energy. The national anthems were beautiful. Fans beautiful. What a great time. 3 quick stories for you guys. I mean, first off, had to shout out my guy. This guy was about 10 rows above me. He was rocking a Steelers hat, Terrell Owens Cowboys jersey, Chiefs pants. I mean, just what an all-time NFL fan. I don't really even care who the guy actually roots for. Just a super fan to the core. And probably my favorite jersey I show all day is Terrell Owens Cowboys. Number 2, shout out to the guys behind me. All day they're rooting for DJ Metcalf.
No
not sure
way.
they actually know his name is DK, but they bet on him 150 yards. Two of the most Irish lads I've ever heard. Just absolute legends in every aspect. And also, double shout out to those guys. They were getting so annoyed with the refs shouting out that 74 was eligible all game. They thought they were like giving their offensive tackle on the Steelers a hard time that he wasn't catching any passes. So all game they're just shouting, "Oh, get him the ball one fucking time! Get him the ball one fucking time!" And he obviously didn't. But I tried to tell them that, hey, bro, they legally have to do that, and they did not care. But anyways, go Birds! Fucking love you guys. Cheers.
Hey, we love you, and I'm so jealous that I'm not there.
That's my brother-in-law, Franny.
No, I know.
Great work,
man.
Franny.
He's the man.
Great job. Great report.
He was there?
Yeah, oh yeah. Franny, his wife Tay, the whole gang, we're over there getting after it.
Oh,
yeah.
I wish I had.
Are they just super NFL fans? Or?
They had this trip planned, and then they just kind of waited out on tickets, and tickets just plummeted at the last second. They got them for like $100 or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
What to the actual
to the game? Yeah,
Oh,
they were going to Ireland as is. They
That's
just
nice.
lined up with their trip. Yeah.
Well, next Ireland game.
DJ
I'll be there,
Metcalf.
DJ Metcalf is hilarious.
DJ Metcalf.
Give that
Yeah.
big booker the ball.
Damn, and worst seat is what? The backup quarterback. You go out to Ireland and you get beat up, mugged. Damn, son.
You got to stay on resort.
Yeah, and I don't like that. I actually don't like that story. I don't like when I hear stories about guys like being alone. Like I can hear if it's like a group of guys got mugged and robbed together, but just one teammate like just being out and about in a different country, it's kind of like you're not close enough for someone to hear you yell out.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's and it's not like you're with friends who are tiny and scared to fight.
Right.
You're with teammates.
Yeah.
And like the fact that you're far enough away or somewhere where no one can hear you yell out for some help, I just feel like that's kind of weird. But that has to feel bad, or like I don't want to victim blame, but it's just.
I don't want to victim blame, but Skylar Thompson, I wish they took all your shit.
No, it's just like, yeah, I don't know, man.
Well, good thing is the NFLPA is actively gathering more information and working to understand the full circumstances surrounding what took place. So that's good. They should have that done in no time.
Are they?
A couple more voicemails.
Okay, cool.
Listen, I want whiny Eagle fans to shut the fuck up.
Yes.
You know, I'm hearing this, I'm getting 2023 Eagle vibes. Shut the fuck up. This ain't the 2023 Eagles. This is the 2025 Eagles. Listen, the difference is the defense. We had the last ranked defense in 2023. This year, we're riding the D. I'm riding the fucking D with these Eagles. And Jalen Hurts is playing out of his fucking mind. So shut the fuck up, whiny Eagles fans. This ain't the 2023 Eagles. All right? We're riding the D, and we're rolling with Jalen. All right.
Y'all riding the D, Eagles.
That guy's got
fans.
WIP on speed dial for sure.
Oh my god, dude!
3 times a week.
No, it's just the timeline, Eagles timeline, like Eagles Twitter is like it's unhinged right now. Like it's just the people eating each other alive, and like it's just everybody's got some hot take.
It's like the Purge.
It's like the Purge. We're 4 weeks in.
Yeah.
We're 4 weeks in.
We're 4-0,
fellas. The Eagles are 4-0. Just relax. Now, if you have concerns about the team, I wouldn't say those people need to shut the fuck up.
Right.
Let's let it play out.
Yeah. Right. Totally.
That guy's riding the D. He's been riding the D for a month.
The D.
Dear Lord.
Yo, Chris, it don't even fucking matter. We can play the first half. We can play the second half. It doesn't matter. The Eagles fucking win. That's all. The Eagles win, baby. And whoever's hating on you can go fucking suck a cheesesteak. Go Birds, dickhead.
Hey, my question is, do we have anybody not calling from the, what is it, 215 area code?
We've got one.
Okay, let's speak to those people.
Guys, can we get Doris Kessler on to make some picks? Come on now, we got to make that happen. I guarantee you she puts up a better record than Macon, Reed, Facts, all you dudes.
Damn.
Doris Kessler is the queen of the bird gang. Love that lady.
Oh yeah, Doris Kessler. She's a Eagles super fan.
Yeah, Bo, you got to tell us
met
about
yesterday.
Doris.
Absolutely legend, electric. First of all, she was decked out in Eagles gear at the tailgate before the game. It was like 105 degrees. Drink in her hand, couple empties underneath. Came up and wanted to get a photo, and I was like, I have to interview you. She was talking about the birds, and she was truly a gem, man. Like, phenomenal individual. I think she could be a good offensive coordinator if the Eagles are interested in that. I've seen that. I think that could play out well. Her football knowledge is pretty unmatched. She's seen it all. But I was cool talking to her. She said her favorite player is Jason Kelsey. I was like, okay, that's pretty sweet. I was expecting her to say like Chuck Bednarik or Ron Jaworski or something like that. But yeah, it was fun talking to her. She's a gem. She went to the game too. I was bitching about it the whole time about how hot it was. She was there as a trooper. Real toughness out of Doris. Big fan.
Yeah, Doris, that's incredible. I don't even like going out late and shit. I don't even like going out. Like, honestly, like, that's crazy.
I think her picks would honestly do better than mine for sure. I'm like 0-30. I was 0-30 yesterday. So,
dude,
call up Doris for some advice.
Okay, what else do you guys have?
We'll do a Monday night preview. What do you guys think?
Sure. Which game's first? I don't even have time to.
Jets, Dolphins, 7:15, and then Broncos, Bengals, 8:15.
Jets, Broncos, 8:15, or Jets, Dolphins, 7:15. Oh, it's another one of those 12:30 at night watching football nights. Yeah. Inevitably, last night I was like, I'm taking Monday night off. I've had a fucking enough.
Yeah,
and then I see this.
Here's my predictions. I need Dobbins.
Dolphins are favored by 2.5. That totals 44.5. Broncos favored by 7.5. 44.5 is also that total.
Whew. If I do anything in the first game, it might be the over. Although Anthony Weaver got me fired up today. He was like, I was playing video in the car, and Nolan was like, who's that talking? I was like, that's your next head coach of the Dolphins, dude. That guy's he's at the podium stunting on these hoes. He's at the podium, he's
something about playing the run with steely-eyed focus.
Steely-eyed focus. He could have convinced me to like go to war or something. Like he was like a general up there. He's definitely going to be the interim head coach at some point in Miami.
Did he say the answer is violence or something like that?
The answer is violence. Yeah, what he meant was like legal violence. He meant setting the edge, putting your face mask in somebody's.
I like that.
Under somebody's chin.
Somebody's chin. Like he had me all raring to go. Now in the second game, my brain says bet the Broncos, but there's something about seeing the team that was supposed to run away with your division losing the night before and saying, like, damn. Maybe we can win the AFC North. Maybe we can just survive tonight and then go trade for Mr. Unlimited. Like maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe we could just find a way to win tonight. So I got to be honest, I can't give you betting advice because my heart is too far in this game. I'm sorry, Cowboy. I do want to see the Bengals win because I think it'd be very amusing coming in here next week and talking to you about the Bengals. Facts. They could be 3-1.
Bengals are cooked.
And still be outscored on the season because fucking Carson Wentz just took them out back last week. I don't know. What do you think, Noel? What do you guys think tonight?
I mean, I lean. It's to me the Dolphins are just do not bet list. I can't go anywhere.
They're on the DMV.
I can't go anywhere near that.
Showed some fight last week though.
I always ride with Reed's Broncos. Home spot at Mile High Monday night.
Bo Nick's going to get it right.
Oh, McDaniel off a mini buy? Yeah,
Yeah.
not going to bet the Dolphins. Sean Payton on a Monday night? You mean to tell me you think Sean Payton's going to outcoach Zach Taylor? I think you might be right. Fuck, dude.
Mismatch.
All right, so we got to show you this picture before we
get out.
Is this the viral moment?
Yeah.
This is the viral moment.
Zach's viral moment of the week
is
obviously going to the Virginia Cavaliers upsetting
number
8 Florida State University in an ACC classic for the century, double overtime. I'm not going to lie. I was in my seat and about 3 minutes to go in the game when you should probably never do this. Me and my girl, we walked down prematurely to the front to get ready to storm the field and proceeded to have to stand 40 more minutes.
Yeah, dude. So you walked down there in regulation?
Yeah,
worst seat.
2 minutes exactly.
No, I got a worse seat from this game, dude.
2 minutes. 2 minutes and 30 seconds exactly still left in the game. And then they go on to tie it up, and we're all just standing there. And then it goes to overtime. Then we both score, and then we end up winning.
So the background of this game is in 1995, our Virginia Cavaliers stopped work done on the goal line. Anthony Poindexter was in on the play, and beat the number 3 ranked or number 1 ranked. I don't know what they were in '95. Florida State's half-ass semi-holes. And at that point, like, Florida State was the Bobby Bowden Florida State semi-holes.
Yep.
And so everybody's all, they're like, I wanted to go to Florida State at that, like, when I was in like a young high school kid, but I thought they were too good. I was like, I'll never make the team, right? So, like, that's how good Florida State was back when I was a lad. And then 10 years later, they come into town again, ranked like number 2 or number 3, and we beat them in 2005. And we're unranked. Rush the field there.
That daggum 18.
That daggum 18. His name is Marcus Hagans. That's a bad motherfucker. Anyways, we beat them. Ernie Sims on the sideline telling all our players that are here for a visit, y'all are idiots. You should have come down to Tallahassee. We're about to smack these fools. And we smacked them. So anyways, now we're 30-year anniversary in 1995. This turned into a big deal. I think the Bevel Conway might be Virginia's uniform from this game.
Absolutely.
They throw it back to the old Patrick Kearneys, the old Mike Groves, the old Anthony Poindexters. They look fantastic. Congrats to Coach Tony Elliott and the Virginia team for outlasting Florida State. That was a wild game. It just kept going. And I was almost in your shoes, except Macon and I, who watched the game together, decided to wait until, like, right at the end, and we got down there. So we were down there for like 3 minutes. Worst seat, getting cussed out by a Florida State, I think a mom of like a player or something, because we were down in the Florida State section, and I was being conscientious. I was like squatting down.
Yeah.
Standing over. Trying not to like block the view. I guess Macon had stood up for a second, and I hear behind me some like middle-aged woman being like, "You fucks! You fucks! You fuckers! You fuckers! You're not supposed to be down here. Sit the fuck down!" This whole thing. And so Macon and I were getting ready to rush the field, and as soon as it was intercepted in the end zone or whatever it was, I looked back at her to be like, "Have a nice flight." I had to say something slick, and I looked down and I've lost Macon. And I'm like, because Macon was the one who had to convince me, like, to have the fortitude to rush the field. I've never done it before. I was like, I'm definitely getting arrested. Like, but it is so easy, dude. It is so fucking easy.
Very easy.
Like, I was like, do I have to ask the guy at the bottom for like permission? No, they just they get out of the way. And then we find you on the field, bro.
The funniest thing is that video. I'm literally asking, like, saying to Mariah, I was like, I wonder if Chris.
Look at this video. Look at this video.
Like, I wonder if Chris is down here. And I turned, and she goes, "He's right there." And I'm like, holy shit.
This was incredible, dude.
You guys are right here.
We just found each other. That was a great Green Light Pod moment, dude. And we were down on the field just like, and that poor guy, worst seat, the guy from Florida State that got like.
You got Mufasa.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay.
You got Mufasa, bro.
I hope he's okay. Listen, my stance on fucking rushing the field, it's one of the best things in the world. They have to do it safely. Like there's got to be a way to do it safely. If this was another school, I would just say, hey, like give everybody 20 seconds and do a countdown. Like that should be the way it goes in college football and in college basketball, where it's like give everybody some time to get off the field, and then there's like a fucking sounder that goes off. you can't litigate pure excitement out of college football, which is hard. I'm glad nobody got hurt. I was down on the field. I didn't see anybody behaving poorly. There was the one guy who flipped the quarterback the bird, but that guy's a fucking asshole for that. I don't care if he's a Virginia fan. Like I like seeing a guy like that get LeGarrette blunted. You know, like I'm a believer in street justice.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of like to run into a couple of the people in my DMs out on a fucking in a field situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hit him with the salt.
Yeah.
This video was from the opposite end zone. Those keen eye watchers, see if you can see who is probably the third person on the field from this end zone. And then there's another guy you'll notice a couple pans later. So here's a play. Interception. Go crazy. From the right side here.
That's making. He
Macon was like a
bro.
bat out of hell.
Was out.
Am I here?
You're coming up. So we're gonna pan back to the left.
I was a little drunk.
Pan back to the left, and then we're gonna cut back here to the right. Keep an eye for the green shorts.
Green shorts, baby.
Green shorts.
Green shorts. The huge guy in green shorts.
Well, those kids had to have been like, holy shit, that's Chris Long.
There was some of that, dude. It turned into like a, what the fuck?
You know, I literally have on video one of the things we're all talking, and it starts being like parents like looking, being like stopping in like shell shock, like, oh my God, like that's Chris Long. Like, go ask him for a picture. Like I watched one parent be like, go, and the kid was like, no, and the mom was like, go ask him for a picture.
But it was cool because like I work with the D-line every once in a while, like just a couple times this summer, and like rushing the field, like I saw a couple of them.
See the guys,
and I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
Fun.
And you just want to take them and be like, hey man, like Billy Madison, stay in school as long as you can. I wanted to be like, remember tonight. I was, and you know, like if you start like, hey, I mean it. Fucking remember tonight. It's gonna be the best night of your life. Not that the rest of your life sucks.
Yeah.
But this is the pinnacle, bro. Like I remember when we beat Florida State.
When you win a game and you think about the older guys, how excited they are, and like you just like as a guy in the team in the moment, you might be like, that old guy kind of weird. Like, yo, like
that's why I stay away from
like,
most things.
you're like, why is he so excited? Like, we just won a football game. You're not even on the football game. But the older you get, and it's like when the positions shift, I guess, like you understand it now. And like I wanted to like tell all those guys, like, yo, thank you. Like as an alumni.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, like thank you.
You made us feel like we're you know, the program matters tonight.
Exactly.
So
it's
man,
crazy how a single win could do that, but it definitely did. And shout out to the Cavaliers.
Yeah, shout out to the Who's, man. That was fun. And then we went to Dirty Nelly's and
got dirty.
Yeah. Had a dart.
What a night.
It was awesome, Bo. You would have loved it, bro. I know.
Oh, I would have enjoyed that. Damn.
You would have loved it.
Next time.
I took Robert Quinn and William Hayes to Dirty Nelly's. They almost got me kicked out of my favorite bar.
That tracks.
Because William Hayes was trying to walk up to like the musicians mid-set and ask them if they could play Tennessee Whiskey. but not like in between songs. Like Rob and Will were like, "Hey, excuse me," and they're like in the middle of, we got to get the fuck out of here. All right, so that's it. Bye weeks start next week. Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, thank you, God.
Praise God.
Thank you, God. And we will be back. Well, I will be back in some form or fashion on Tuesday. God, that's tomorrow. Breaking down the Monday Night Football games. Both of them.
Plural.
Happy hunting tonight.
Yeah.
Take care.